Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese, episode 221. I'm your Joe Dix, joined tonight by Matt Zellner.
Hello.
Marc Augustiniak.
Spoogins.
Aku Diakoparas Kivas.
Hello.
Ben Barris.
What's up?
The Free Cheese, a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. It is hot down here, let me tell you what. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe it's because I'm coming off of the...
No, I can give you 5 reasons.
Go ahead, BuzzFeed.
I mean, we're all sitting here.
Is there usually 5 bodies in this place?
No,
it was
there's
hot
usually
before
not.
5 showed up, though.
It's true. I think I do have the heat on. I'm gonna
That would be it. I think.
I did mess with the thermostat just a tiny bit.
I fixed it.
Okay.
I fixed it.
Oh, poor little... I was freezing in the night.
How was it, Matt? Yeah, Matt, Matthew took care of my home while I was out wandering in the desert.
It was great. I stayed on one floor the entire time, pretty much, except the occasional shower.
Yeah.
The boys like to face hug and grab onto the body and not let you move at all.
Yes.
So the nights were kind of fun.
It's true.
But no, besides that, it got a little cold in here at times, so I bumped up the heat, and that could be the cause of this. I almost thought I broke your thermostat because it made a very loud click, and then the screen would come on, and I was like, oh, that's not the text I want to
That's
say.
a bad thing.
But then I went upstairs, I showered, came back down, and it was all working normal. I was like, all right, perfect.
I wonder what happened.
I had no idea.
I don't know either. I saw some shit that you would not have liked.
I didn't see anything. I was on the look.
No. While I was in Texas.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't like, yeah.
I was in the desert, and when we were driving,
Okay. All right, I know it.
I saw, while driving, keep that in mind, I saw a spider on the road.
What? Jesus. How big
Meaning it was big enough that I could fucking see it walking across the street like another, like a
Did you
fucking.
swerve out the way?
No, I was like, ooh, spider. But yeah, then it was big as fuck.
Damn, dog.
Dude, I don't-
Dude, that sucks.
Big as fuck.
Damn. I'll never go to Texas.
It was.
I want to go to Texas too.
These other
man.
one was like camel spiders or whatever.
I don't know what. Maybe I didn't. I just saw a spider. Like I saw him walking, and I was like, oh shit! Did you see that? And Katie was like, what? I was like, spider.
Where'd you go in Texas?
We're in Marfa.
Marfa. Okay, so don't go to Marfa.
I mean, I assume it's all the same, but yeah, Marfa. There's no good way to get to Marfa, so we had to fly into El Paso, which is like western tech. Like you can't go any
Home
more
of the
west.
salsa.
Right? Yeah, you can't go any more west in Texas. If you did, you'd be in New Mexico from El Paso or Arizona. They all blur together. They're all states.
One of those.
We got to drive from El Paso 3 hours inland to Marfa. And Marfa, like the whole drive there, it's literally 2 highways you take. Just take one highway for 2 hours, take another one for an hour, and then you're in Marfa. But it's fucking desert. Like the drive, I don't get sleepy when I drive, but I was getting sleepy just because it's
like boring.
I mean, the mountains are pretty, but it was just
A lot of
Was there,
sand.
a lot of sand.
Cacti.
Was there any Darudes going on? Sandstorms? You got it.
Oh, got it. All right. None of that. We saw a lot of stars. That was the dope thing about the nighttime.
Yeah, there's no lights around,
That has
right?
to
Yeah.
be beautiful.
Oh, dude, I legit saw the Milky Way. Like, you see pictures of, and like normally if you look through a telescope in a dark observatory, if you have a weird uncle who takes you there or something, this naked eye, just look up in the night and it's just, I can see space.
That's awesome, man.
It was stupid.
That's
Like
wild.
I tried to take a picture of it, but
Yeah, that shit never turns out
no,
good.
I think,
Yeah.
well, I'll pull it up now and you'll see it's probably just blackness. But it was cool. In the place we stayed at, we were in a, what do you call it?
Bed and
Teepee?
breakfast? Oh.
A teepee?
Yeah, we slept in a teepee for a couple of nights.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Oh, yeah. Here's pictures of stars, guys. Take a look.
Oh man.
Yep. Just a
So
fucking
beautiful.
black phone.
Where you go to the bathroom if it's in a teepee?
So that's the thing. Yeah, this is where we stayed.
Oh wow,
Oh,
it's
my
like
God.
a
fucking-
campground almost.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a quarantine kind of FEMA thing.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Body bags.
The bathroom
Well, they
actually...
are right next to New Mexico.
Yeah, right.
So you don't use the same TP to wipe, do you?
I took a video
Mark
of
with the zings, man. Jesus Christ. Not
make
even
sure-
5 minutes in.
I just woke up.
So good.
No, I took a video
Did
of
we
the...
expect anything less? I don't know.
Here's the walk to the place. This is a bad podcast, but you can see here.
There's a
Upload
lot
on
of
YouTube, just
there's a
put
lot
it
of
on repeat.
trees. There's a lot of
See
movement.
that building right there?
There's a building.
Yeah.
That's where you shit. and shower.
So it's like a.
Oh, so it's like a
an
public
outhouse.
bathhouse kind of thing?
Yeah, like I was, taking care of business one morning.
I wouldn't have pooped.
I had to do AirPods in and crank a podcast to the max volume. But even still, I could hear someone taking a bath next to me,
Yeah.
which was
Oh, god damn
Yeah,
it.
no, you can't do it.
you're walled off. Like you're not like sitting there like looking in someone's eyes
They're
waving.
Like thin walls, I bet.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all open air. Like it was
Oh.
just
Ew.
yeah.
It's just open air doesn't sound good.
Here's the
That
cool
situation.
part. I showered at like 2 a.m. And you're outside, so I was just showering under the stars, which is pretty fucking cool.
Wild.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That was dope. Katie was like, I'm going to wait for the sun to come up. We're going to be warmer. And then it turned out that didn't really help. It actually was colder in the morning than it was at night when I took a shower. So she took a shower in 40-degree weather and like hobbled back to the TP like freezing. And, yeah.
Interesting.
I almost didn't shower just because we didn't have soap or anything anyway. And I wasn't going to go buy shampoo and stuff. But I was like, I feel real gross.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you are in
I
the
could
desert.
feel the
Yeah.
crust. And like at one point I like started shuffling and a whiff came up and I was like,
Oh,
"No,
yeah.
no, we're not doing this." You don't have to go to Marfa. You don't.
Probably go to like Austin or something like that.
I mean,
Is Austin still flooded? Or
I
is that the
don't
one that got
That
flooded?
was,
Austin?
Houston.
Houston?
Houston?
So anything other than where is Marfa? Is that like
On the 3
3 hours away from El
3
Paso.
hours away from El
Houston.
Paso.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
like it's really close to Mexico. Like I mean, the whole thing is really close to Mexico. But Marfa is an art town, so we went there because of art.
Oh, okay.
Katie went to see all that kind of stuff. There's a guy named Donald Judd who moved out there at some point and decided he was gonna, instead of just making art, he was gonna make permanent art installations. So he built like these. I'll pull pictures up if I have them. He built like there's a lot of shit. Like he built.
It's a little slideshow. Do you see?
Yeah. Do you see? He built these giant like concrete rectangles as an art installation. You could see them all there. Like they're just it's just like art, but the city is art, so to
okay.
speak. Here's the thing I don't like about art towns: the fucking people.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Because
man.
they are so
yeah.
shitty. Like we went to a coffee shop,
Oh no.
and the kid was just like,
That's like the nest.
Yeah.
this kid was just he was
It's not Starbucks, right? Not Starbucks.
No, no, no,
Can't
it
be
was- it-
Starbucks.
yeah.
Nope.
he was high out of his mind, probably. Or if he wasn't, he was surely acting like it.
It's an art person. I
Like
mean,
we walked in, he like, what do you do? What happens when someone walks into your place of business? You say like, "Hi." Like that's bare minimum. We didn't even fucking get that. Like we walked in, and he's just
looking at you?
just like sad face, and we're like, "Hey, can we get coffee?" Turns around, and starts making it. We're like, "All right, sure, great,
Dang.
got it."
I wish I loved my job then.
And I know. He lit up though when this girl came in who was definitely on mushrooms because
Okay.
she was just like fingering the walls, and like the song that was on was like really not that exciting, but she was getting the fuck down. She was also like in pajamas, and yeah. We later saw her wandering through an alleyway, just kind of like dancing and
Oh,
touching the
Christ.
walls. Like it's a combination of like hippies and just like whatever.
I could, nah.
Yeah,
Sounds like a hard
everybody
read.
was just like
Marford just ain't
really.
for me.
Yeah, everybody was really, really just, I don't know. Except for like when we went to the places where you could tell it was people who lived there forever and weren't like dumb art, whatever. They were so welcoming. Like that was the southern hospitality you hear of, where water. Hi, honey. Can I get you some coffee?
I'm
Like
thinking,
they were all.
I'm thinking of the King of the Hill episode
Yeah.
when the hipsters invade. And they put salmon in the.
It's all of that. My favorite part, though, absolute favorite part was as we were wandering through town. Did you guys see? You probably saw earlier this year in DC. There was a thing at one of these museums. The pumpkins. You know what I'm talking about? The
Negative.
infinity mirrors. That whole exhibit.
Infinity Mirrors with pumpkins?
Yeah, it was.
No, I can picture it in my head, but I've never seen it.
There was this art show. I forget the artist's name, Yao something or whatever. I can't remember it all.
Yao
Sounds about
Ming?
right.
Totally drawing a
Yao
blank.
Ming.
Got
No, it's not Miyazaki.
Yeah, nothing better to do
After
the
Dark
multiple
Souls.
years.
Yeah, he just- like I'm
Infinity
done.
Pumpkins.
So this lady, she made really, really cool things with mirrors and like playing with perspective and illusion and whatever. Yayoi Kusama.
Right.
Yeah, man. Same thing.
Okay.
Family name.
I'm showing you guys a picture of this poster. So, Yayoi Kusama, it was a thing, and like the reason it like gained a little bit of attention was you couldn't get into this place at all. The tickets were free, but in order to get it, you had to like go to the website weeks in advance to try and get the tickets and whatever. And then some girl that did get tickets and got to go in stepped through one of the pumpkins and smashed it. Because like every room was a different thing. Like you'd go into these little tiny boxes, and it was just like mirrors all around, but there was like something inside. So like the one was like you're looking into nothing forever, but there's pumpkins in there. Or you're looking into nothing forever and there's big pink balls. Whatever. It's cool to look at.
Right on.
Okay.
But some girl stepped and destroyed one of the pumpkins. So they had to like, whatever. Same lady was friends with this guy, Donald Judd, who really put Marfa on the map. And
Oh yeah, really put her on.
oh yeah. And there was a film screening happening the day that we left, but like after we were gone. So you guys can see this poster here where it says Yayoi Kusama film screening. And it says October 27th, 7:30 p.m. at the Crowley Theater.
All right.
And Katie was like, I want one of those. Like, I think it'd be cool to have one of those and just frame it and put it up in the house. Like, it's just an event that happened while we were there, and I want it. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. And because everywhere we went, like, everywhere, every restaurant, every bookstore, and there weren't many places in this town, every place had one of these posters. Every place had one of these posters. We walk into the foundation, the main whatever, and this is like the day before we were leaving, and there's a whole bunch of the posters everywhere, and we're asking them about different tours and whatever, because we went on this tour, whatever, and we saw the posters in there. So the next day, Katie was like, oh, I think I saw some of those posters in the bookstore. Can we run in so I can grab one? I was like, yeah. We go bookstore, grab or we look for it, they're all out. They weren't there anymore. And she's like, all right, well, I know they have them across the street at the foundation. But neither of us were looking forward to that because they were really shitty to us the day before. Just like
Great.
not making eye contact, just like so fucking hyper cool. Just like, so we go in and these posters are in every place that we've been to so far. Every place that we've been to so far. And we look and there's a stack of them on the counter. When I say stack, I mean like a stack of these posters.
Okay.
And this is now the day of the event. So the event's happening that night. And there's a stack of these posters on the table.
Uh-huh.
And there's already a bunch of them all over town in every place that we've been to. So Katie goes, hey, can we have one of those? And the guy goes, oh, I'm so sorry. We have to pass those around town.
Oh my god. Oh no.
We paid about $3.75 per print.
Oh
so-
no.
I was like,
Oh no.
what do you mean you have to pass them around
Oh
town?
no.
One, it's the day of the fucking event. You better get going. Two, they're already every fucking where. And three, you have a literal stack of 50 of them.
Small town, right? Kind of just like a little like RPG game where like every building is using the same assets inside. There's that poster everywhere.
Yes, exactly. And the town is so small that every time we went to go somewhere, like if we were going to go to dinner or every time we looked up where it was a 3-minute drive. 3-minute drive. Like, and it got to the point where like by the end of our time there, we were joking like, hey, can we go run to the store? Oh, I don't know. It's a 3-minute drive. Like everything was a 3-minute
At
drive.
that point, I would just take one when he's not looking.
So,
While he's
Take the whole stack?
I don't know if you guys saw upstairs in the dining room table what's sitting on the dining room table.
Okay.
But we left, and I was like, I want to walk back in and take one of these fucking things. Because
Yeah,
what
you
the fuck
have
is
to
he going
now.
to
You
do?
He's
have
not gonna
to.
do anything. He doesn't
But
even fucking want to be
said
there.
he said hand them out. That's the thing. Like it wasn't like like stores bought the posters and he needs to deliver them. No,
Yeah.
hand out.
If anything, you helped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to walk back in and take one right from under his fucking face. But I was like, ugh. But I knew there was one in the grocery store. We had to go to the grocery store because we had to get, what do you call it? I got a full throttle. Hard work and easy drink. And Katie got one of the Mango Loco monsters with the
okay.
Dia de los Muertos theme. So I was like, let's go in there. And I know there's one hanging in that grocery store. And she was like, all right, well, don't be a dick. Like, make it seem like you're interested in the event or something. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I could do that. So we got our things, we paid, and we walk up to the thing, and it's fucking taped onto the wall. And I'm like, fuck. Because a thumbtack Done. This is taped at each corner. So I walk up and I'm like putting on my best acting, and I just see it, and I was like, oh. Walk over and I like, huh. And I like carefully peel each corner off and then take it off the wall. And Katie's dying because I'm looking at it, just going, I'm like really studying this thing the whole way to the car, just like.
I can just imagine some grocery store worker just
watching,
texting their phone like, what the fuck is he doing?
I don't even think they knew we were in there. Like, it was fucking empty. But we got it. It's upstairs and it'll be in a frame. But it was just like.
I'll say, if there was the one in the coffee house, nobody would even look at you.
I mean, we were.
That's funny.
We were gonna get one.
I think if you
good
would have
though.
actually took one in front of his face, you would have been like, come on, man. And then you just would have walked out.
He wouldn't have done anything. That guy was the fucking worst.
God, I already know what he looks like. Without you even have to explain what he looks like. That's the best part.
Was he wearing a scarf?
Yeah, what color
He was
the
wearing a scarf.
Jesus
It
Christ.
was black scarf. He was wearing a polo shirt, long sleeve, with the sleeves pulled up halfway, 2 days in a row. Because we saw him. We were wearing the same
Easy
clothes.
with the long sleeves pulled up. That's what I do.
No, I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I do it too. I'm just
Yeah, the big
describing.
glasses.
No glasses on him,
Oh.
but balding.
He had a monocle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had an excuse for wearing clothes 2 days in a row because we were on vacation and living in a fucking teepee. But even still, we weren't wearing the exact same clothes. Motherfucker, 2 days in a row. Art, bitch.
They don't wash their clothes, man.
Like,
Come
it's
on.
not even like a work uniform. It's just his clothes.
Yeah, it didn't have any logo on it that said
Yeah, cause,
I'm an asshole.
Because why would they conform to that?
Just
It sucks.
it was a good trip though. I enjoyed the desert. I enjoyed seeing the spider. I don't know. It was cool. Literally, it was cold.
No, you're just being in the TV part sounds pretty cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was neat. Yeah, we had a fire that kept us warm through the night. That's pretty neat.
Oh, straight up survival mode then.
Basically, yeah.
Did you see any coyotes?
No, we heard them though.
Really?
And the one night got really, really windy, and the fucking teepee was like slapping against the wood that held it up.
fuck.
So we kept waking up in the middle of the night just because like not snapping. It was like bang. Like imagine if you were like I don't know, whatever.
Like the neighbors right now next door.
Yeah, like
banging
these
on the
fucking
wall.
like I don't have neighbors for 18 months, and now they decide to move in while we're recording. Son of a
What
bitch.
if those are just spooky ghosts?
I'm okay with that if it is.
Ghost dude.
Well, that was my time in Marfa. It's a nice town. You should go there if you're interested in art or art accessories. It was
That's dope.
good. How's everybody else's week? Akko, you haven't been here in years.
Yeah, so the last couple of years have been pretty cool.
Fill us in. Catch us up to speed.
Yeah, let me start from the beginning.
All right. Take us back to 2014.
After the island or before the island? No.
Well, when you go back again,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
and then
right.
come back.
Yeah. No, but things have been the same. A lot of work. I think I was doing the app the last time I was on here.
Yes.
The app is no longer on the App Store
I
or
know.
whatever. Because school and work, and all that. So it was hard to keep up with everything. And I liked having a social life.
Yeah.
So
It was impressive though. For those that don't remember, Akko made an amiibo hunting app because I guess they just don't make them anymore because there's no
they
fucking
don't.
amiibo.
I check every once in a
Yeah,
while.
like, my friend would totally utilize that because he still collects them all.
No,
Yeah.
but I used it all the time. It was really good. And it was, I'm not saying it because Akko is my friend. I'm saying it because legit, it was the best one on the App Store. Like,
Oh, definitely.
the UI was the best. Like, the way he built it and designed it, like, was seamless with iOS. Like, everything, it was
Navigating
really...
wasn't like 50 menus of bullshit and like pop-up ads
Uh-uh.
everywhere.
You guys are gonna make me blush.
I know. It was really, really
No,
good.
but it was very fun to work on, and it was at the height of like amiibo hunting. When
Yeah, that
everything
shit was
so
wild,
new, and it's like,
dude.
damn, I gotta
Yeah.
go to the wild and
It
find
was,
these.
that was how I got Toad. That's how I got a lot of my amiibo, really.
Yeah.
Like, because I would just be like, I want this one. I don't know where it is. Let me type it in, and oop, boom.
But it's pretty cool now because if you Google my name, like the first 3 pages on Google are just different like app snooping kind of things that just have like
fuck.
this is the aggregate reviews of Collection Hunt Amiibo Edition.
What if you Bing your name?
Huh?
Huh?
It's just porn.
Okay. Good. There is one, you made a mistake, if I recall, a few years back, when it wasn't on air, it was an off-air mistake that you made, that you texted me later and rectified the mistake.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
But on air, we haven't gotten the chance to discuss the results of 2015's Game of the Year,
Oh, okay.
where, if I recall correctly, you voted for Fallout 4,
Oh, dude, no, that was a fucking mistake.
and then months,
No,
or
congratulations.
not even months, days later, texted me and said, "Oh shit, had I played this game, Bloodborne would have won." And therefore, I think Bloodborne
Okay.
wins Game of the Year 2015.
Well, dude, here's my 2015. Let me run it down for you.
Break it to me.
I go to work. I come home from work.
Yeah.
I work on the app.
Yeah,
Eat a bunch of food.
yeah.
Go back to sleep. Got real fat. Got up to like 210 pounds.
All right.
And I was like, all right, well, this kind of sucks. Let me fucking do other things. And then I played like no games that year.
Yeah.
I like played Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
I played, what the fuck even came out?
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker came out that year. And
Rocket League?
I did not play Bloodborne until like the following year. Like
It was the first.
Christmas
It was
of
the first couple of
2016.
weeks. So you did it like I remember you texted me, like around Christmas and said like, "Oh shit, this game's dope."
Oh, was it that year, 2015?
Yeah.
Okay, no, okay, so here's what it was. I bought it because it came out in February or whatever.
March. Yeah.
Or March. I played it. I bought it. It was like on sale or something like that. And I played. I got to the first lantern, and I was like, I'm not really feeling. I'm not in the mood for this game right now.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it wasn't good.
It's-
And then I go and play Fallout 4, the best game of all fucking time. No, but it was like Fallout 4. It was just like the last game I played of the year, and
Yeah.
I remember not having a terrible time with it. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't play any games this year, so I guess it's Fallout 4.
It's-
But then I played like Bloodborne after you did the podcast, and I was like, wow, this is one of the best games ever fucking made. So
Hands down.
yeah, so
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
I
And
remember.
I was just looking over there and saw your little like
Oh,
Bloodborne.
yeah. No, I remember getting a text like right after Christmas, like, "Oh shit, dude, this game's really good." And then a week later, and it was like, "Hey, I got the platinum and 100% of the deal." Like you flew through that fucking thing.
Oh, dude, I played Bloodborne. I went on a fucking like Soulsborne rampage, dude, because I hadn't played any of those games.
Yeah.
So I played Bloodborne. I played the shit out of that game, and then I played the shit out of Dark Souls 1. I played through Dark Souls 2, and then that was like just in time for 3 to come out.
Did you play 3?
No, dude, I played 3. I have like over 100 hours on it in Steam. Just like playing. I beat the game like 5 or 6 different times.
Damn.
Oh shit.
So on 2, did you play the Sins of the Scholar?
Sins of the First Scholar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I played that. And Dark Souls 2 wasn't like a bad game. In a world where Dark Souls games and Bloodborne games are like fucking god tier or whatever,
yeah.
Dark Souls 2 is like a 7 out of 10 game. It's not
Yeah.
bad, but it's
It's not Dark Souls
it's
1
not
or
Dark
3
Souls.
or definitely
Yeah.
not Bloodborne.
right. But
Game of the Year 2015.
It's in writing. It's on the site. It's published. Fallout 4.
I can
You
change
can't take that
anything.
back.
I-
You
I-
can't take that
I
back.
gotta honor it.
It's yeah.
Fallout 4 is the best game of all time in 2015.
He's not turning that.
Thanks for coming on.
Upload
I'm
the
glad you're here.
upload the web image
Glad
of
to be
Fallout
back.
4 Game of the Year to
I remember-
archive.org.
I remember that because I remember hearing Akko on, I guess, the last episode. So maybe that was... I don't remember what it was. Maybe that's what it was, the whole Game of the Year
Which one?
thing. When Akko was last on.
Yeah, that was the last time I
Yeah.
was on.
Yeah. I heard that episode.
Right?
Was that Game of the Year Taco Cast? Was that
I don't know.
That wasn't the last time. you
I
were
wasn't
was it?
on that, was I?
The Fallout one you weren't on.
That was just a
That
text.
was it. Yeah, I texted you and said, "Yo, vote," and then you said what you said. Yeah, I don't remember the last time you were on.
Yeah, it was that year. I remember it being that
Yeah.
year because I was talking
It was
about
just
the
you
app and
two.
everything.
Wasn't it just you two?
Nah, it wasn't just us two.
Oh.
I forgot who was on it.
Well, I can't remember. My memory's the hell anyway.
It's been years,
Yeah.
literal years.
Dope.
Yeah. How are you, Mark?
I'm pretty great.
You look like Delson from Infamous.
You do.
Maroon beanie.
Oh man.
Now he's got to take
Not
it
a
off.
bad.
No.
Delson was fucking dope.
Okay. I'll take your word
Was
for
it-
it. I
It
never
wasn't
played
cool,
it.
but it was cool.
Anyway.
That was almost a pun. I feel like, but okay.
Oh,
I wasn't
cool.
going for it.
I
know.
I'll take it.
Sorry, it's just what my Polish ears hear. It's
How's your week?
pretty spooktacular.
Spooktastic.
Yeah.
What happened?
So like Friday, my work had a little like Halloween luncheon, and I convinced my brother to wear this big like sloth head with me, and like I have a picture I can share real quick of that.
I do remember the pictures.
Yeah. So but it was funny because like when we wore them, we weren't really talking to anybody, so it was kind of creepy.
Just sitting in an office with.
Yeah,
Saul.
we would just stare and like corner people. But I'm not. My brother's the one in the blazer.
I remember you sent that gift to us, and I thought it was just something you found on the internet. But then you'd send another one, and I'm like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Too personal. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Made some food for that. And then later that night, had another Halloween party to go to. Go into my other costume, which was this mariachi like Day of the Dead thing going on. My friend painted the face.
That's really fucking
Oh,
good.
that's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty neat.
Oh, sick.
I was every time I drank beer, I got like paint on the bottle. But,
As you should, yeah.
you know, it's fine. The beer was interesting. My friend Charlie, like, it was like a 4-pack, $18
All right.
from like Wisconsin or something. But it was
Alright.
called like Dragon's Milk. It was very stout.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
And on the bottle, it's like recommended. It was like really good with dark chocolate. I'm like, well, no shit, you're a stout. But
Yeah, it's like 9% alcohol or something, right?
yeah,
It's like
I only had 2, and like I felt it. A
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, that'll get you wild.
That was a good night.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was another Halloween little event, and I just wore my Renaissance outfit with like that skull mask. Or
Respect.
whatever.
Oh, yeah,
Respect.
yeah.
So I just been nothing but costumes all weekend, and then
That's-
like very little time for video games, but except for one, you know. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what game?
Yeah. Never heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Ben,
Hey.
Hey.
Doing good.
how's your band?
We actually played a show this past Sunday, Metro Gallery. It's like right by UB, like the train station.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday night. We went at 9, got off at 9:30. So I just didn't tell anybody because I just wanted to play and get it over with.
Dude, you're in a band?
Yeah, I'm in 2 bands. And so what I wanted to say about that show was the guitar player, or the second guitarist, he's in like his late 30s. He's got like this back problem thing going on.
Yeah.
So me and him are like identical look-alike. Like he has like a darker skin complexion. He's like Cuban or something.
I saw a video of you guys playing, and I was like, oh, that's not Ben.
Yeah, like when we play out, he's like, no, he'll go around. He was like, oh, that's my son. He's the bass player. Because like he has the same throwed out hair and everything. So we're jamming out, whatever, both on stage. And me and him, like legit the whole time, are just headbanging. Like, that's just what I felt like doing. So the next day, we're talking in the Facebook chat, and we get a message from him. He's like, hey, can't talk, went to ER on pain meds, gotta go. So like, I found out he was headbanging so fucking hard that he like fucked up his spine.
Dang.
He was rushed to the ER after the gig. I was like, dude.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah.
That's
You don't get
good
more
as
metal
it.
than that.
Yeah, dude. Respect.
How is that not the plot of a Metalocalypse episode? Like where
It's actually common. Dave Mustaine, Megadeth, can't headbang because he headbanged too much. Tom Raya from Slayer, same thing. They had to get like plates installed in their neck because of it.
That sounded like a power drill.
That was a power drill. But yeah, it's been dope.
That's Dang.
Yeah.
I wanted to come last week. I wanted to try and figure out a way we could move the show around and
No, I'll let y'all know when it's like we get a show and it's like actually worth like maybe like a weeknight or something, not like a Sunday night. You know,
Yeah,
in the city.
Metro's pretty small.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it. I met a lot of cool people there. So
That's where I saw Wham City.
oh yeah,
I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's wild.
I like that place.
yeah. I saw He Is Legend there.
Really?
Pretty fun. Yeah.
I saw them.
At Metro? I feel like they would play somewhere bigger.
Nah, I saw
No,
them at Auto Bar.
Yeah, they
last
always
year.
they usually
Really?
always play Auto Bar. Last year they did Metro
Damn.
as a different thing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Pretty cool. Matthew, anything happened this week outside of dogs?
No, I forgot how much I like sleeping in my own bed. It was
You slept on the couch, and I told you.
I felt bad crating the dogs.
That's very
Because
nice.
like
of
they're
you.
not ever in the crate at night, right? You let them free roam, right?
They sleep in the bed with us.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, so I just put on a Twitch channel
Yeah, I
on
mean,
your Apple TV. And just
How'd you do that?
AirPlay, dude.
Oh, AirPlay. All right, I was gonna say Amazon.
Yeah, no,
doesn't have
I
it.
plugged up the phone, AirPlay,
Gotcha.
and then I did some pre-ordering of a certain phone.
Oh yeah, you got it.
I have one reserved for me.
The 8?
Opening day. No, not
I'm
the
kidding.
8.
I'm kidding.
DMX.
Yeah, it's
What
going
was
to give
everyone
it to
talking
you.
about? Like, went on, got an 8. Like,
Yeah.
no problem.
But no, I don't want to talk about that part. But I launched a UPF and fell asleep watching a UPF.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
perfect. They're like
Yeah.
3 hours long. Just kind of play through the night.
No, yeah,
It's great.
It's good stuff.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I finally slept in my
What's a UPF?
bed.
It's
It's something on giantbob.com.
Okay.
Giant Bomb's Unprofessional Fridays, where they just
Oh.
kind of.
Just chill, play games for like 20-minute blocks.
It's usually like they don't It's not a serious. I mean, they do have production value, but like it's not like something where it's like really whatever. It's just them.
I've seen them upload shit because I'm subscribed to their YouTube channel. I've seen like they'll do like 20, 30-minute segment videos or whatever.
They'll do. They have a lot of stuff, and the UPFs are for you gotta be a premium member to see it, and it's a live thing they do every Friday. Where they each bring a game to play, and they just hang out and play games. And
they did a
talk
Sega
and bullshit.
Saturn one once.
Yes. Yeah, they did.
That was
It was
wild.
for the 20th anniversary of that.
And they do stupid shit like, you know, we're going to play Xbox One games on an Xbox One at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Pretty good.
But yeah, it was nice to be back in my bed last night.
Yeah.
I finally got a good night of sleep.
I mean, you're going to be here again. You should do the bed.
Nah, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
I'm telling you
It'll be fine.
about that purple mattress.
It'll be fine.
It's heaven.
It'll be fine. The dogs are
It's
going to be
purple.
juice loose, as they say.
The juice is always loose. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Did you play any games while I was gone?
A lot.
A lot of games.
A lot.
Why don't we talk about video games in this here video game podcast?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Bringing us in, now playing.
This is
Would
a game
you-
podcast?
It's a video game podcast in a segment we
wouldn't
call.
know.
I've been at the game for a couple of years.
It's-
You gotta forgive me.
That's true. In a segment we call Now Playing. Matt, what'd you get up to this week?
I played the fuck out of Shadow of War this week.
Middle Earth,
Yes.
Mordor 2,
Yes.
Orc Simulator, Do You Shower with Your Orc 2017.
What?
No, not that direction.
All right, sorry.
You kept asking me this question the last 2 weeks, and you said, what if you could put the Nemesis system into another game, what would it be? And it hit me Friday night.
All right.
Give this system to 2K and let them make a Mafia game with it.
Okay. I can see that.
Because Mafia 3 started, like, that whole racket system that I explained back in the day, it was leading to that. It just wasn't, it was repetitive
Didn't get
and
there.
wasn't solidly made. But the story in that game was, I thought, was well done. Very well done. Just now, the Middle Earth story, as I've said plenty of times, is very disjointed. I don't care about it. There's very small segments I care about. There is something that's good, but I enjoy playing the game a lot. Like, a lot. I just love running around, slaying orcs, messing with the Nemesis system, like pretty much playing with all the tools at hand to make all this weird shit happen. But yeah, that's the answer. A new Mafia game with the Nemesis system. I think that'd be perfect.
Be interesting.
But yeah, I really dived in. I put in a lot of hours this week, and the end is near.
Yeah?
I went to a story mission, and it was like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Because X, Y, and Z will go away, so make sure you complete everything. So, remember I was telling you when you came in on Friday, I was like, I don't know when this game's going to end.
Yeah.
I found it today. It's going to end.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Last time you hadn't really gotten into any of the like controlling orcs or anything, right?
yeah, so it was on Monday, I think I finally unlocked the ability, because I finally got myself to do some story missions to start dominating captains and manipulating them to infiltrate war chiefs and be spies and take on other orcs and stuff like that. So I started really messing with those mechanics this week, and it's so good and so well done, and I'm still not bored of the different orcs I'm seeing. Like, I'm still seeing unique ones, and yes, some of them share different traits and stuff, but there's always a unique part of them that either I haven't seen yet, or they blend in different traits to make something more unique that I haven't seen yet. And there's been multiple times where, like, this is a story mission, and they spawn a captain or one of the ones that exist already. Spawn in is the easiest time in the world because there's just something dumb about them that makes it easy. There's been other times where I see one and it is nearly impossible. It makes me play in a way that I hate playing, but it's not because it's broken. It's just because I don't like playing like with those types of systems or those types of mechanics. So it really does make you play in different ways, and I do appreciate that. I finally have started doing all the fortress stuff and raiding the fortresses and building your armies. That's the highlight of this game. You might I've only done it about 5 times in this game, but each time I've enjoyed it, and it's not outstaying its welcome. Now, if they did it 10 times, I think it would be a little tedious at that point, but It's really cool. You start with your orc army right behind you, and you start raiding castle walls, and like there's all types of different perks. If the more like captains you have on your side, you can like get these things that throw fireballs at the walls to bring them crashing down, or you can get like big trolls that bash on the walls to bring them down. And then on the defensive side, there's all kinds of things you can do to prevent those tactics. Like if you try to go through the front door, someone might have a caged dragon that breathes fire through the door to prevent you from doing like.
That's a little scary.
It is legit like raiding Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. It is like reliving that moment in that movie time and time again when you do these fortress events.
So is this part of like a quest, or is it like?
So like you can kind of do this at your own will, but eventually
so it's like side quest shit.
But eventually the game will funnel you to do that.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you're trying to raise an orc army to bring down Sauron, which is every Lord of the Rings movie known to man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I finally completed I think all of those at this point, and it's cool. So once you kind of like get into the fortress, there's different points to capture, and you kind of go like A, B, C, and the game kind of guides you along to those. But like there's just a big circle, and you just got to try to stay in the circle. But like there's orcs everywhere, and there's like the opposing armies captains are in the circle, but your captains are in the circle. It's just mass mayhem everywhere, and it's fantastic. It's one of the best things and best moments like I think I've ever seen in video games like that. And just massive amounts of enemies, and there's no chugging. Like the game runs great. So yeah, you eventually take out the points and kill all the captains involved, and then you'll go in, you'll face like the overlord of the fort, and he's probably the most powerful person. And but like I said though, it could be the most easiest thing in the world. He could play to your traits and you mow him down in no time, or it could be the hardest thing in the world and it's like a true boss.
Damn.
Dope. I only lost twice on the fortress thing. It was because they spawned an overlord that it just pissed me off. But I love this game.
I'm happy to hear that you haven't like slowed down on it at all, or.
So yeah, it's the game's still telling me I'm technically in Act 2. I'm cleaning up some last side quests just to say like I completed the side quest, just to to say I've been through it to see if it gets any better. But yeah, I'm going to complete the story mission. I don't know if there's anything that happens after the fact. I think there is, but I don't know what that looks like yet. And that could be like the grindy area that people have been talking about. But getting to that point where like the story is over, I had a great time with the game. Haven't yet played the final story yet, so like that could be like the worst thing in the world.
Maybe,
but it's so far so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds dope.
It's one of my favorite games.
You played it on PS4?
PS4,
okay.
Yeah. It runs beautifully. Like the game doesn't look. The game looks fine, but it's just like all the muddled textures and stuff. It's very gray and green and like,
that's what I've been when I've read into it. That's what people are
saying.
There's
Different
about the
areas, so like there's like a more like volcanic like area. There's like a more like snowy like they try to do different things, but at the end of the day, it's just the same orc colors over and over again.
Yeah. Even the movies weren't that colorful.
But yeah, but like I can't
to, like,
knock on it
true.
too much because I mean that's how the movies were.
Yeah.
But yeah, story wise, not the movies.
So, is it too early to say if it's better than the first, or how it compares to the first game?
Oh, this is better than the first game in my opinion.
Good.
Because it was the same thing for me in the first game. Like I didn't care for the story. It was kind of there and it guided me along to make me do different mechanics and unlock new things. But at the end of the day, I got the platinum trophy because I just wanted to manipulate their armies with the nemesis system so much that by the time I did that, I was only like 2 trophies away from getting it, so I just polished it off.
Yeah. Shit.
So yeah, it might be the same thing here. I don't know. There's just too much to do before the end of the year to focus on a platinum trophy.
Yeah.
But if I'm like on the cusp of it, I might like spend another hour to get it.
Damn.
It's dope. I do highly enjoy playing this game.
Did you get the season pass? Is there a season pass?
No, I don't do season passes.
Okay, yeah.
I buy a la carte.
You got one for Breath of the Wild though, right?
Fuck you.
Wait, did he? I don't
No.
get it. No, okay.
He's very upset about that.
I got the season pass for
As you should, because it's a goddamn
I did
good
too.
deal.
I got a day one.
Here's the thing: I haven't played the first DLC at all.
It's
the Switch. They turn on the Switch for a map tracker.
Oh Jesus Christ!
So you did play it.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah,
I didn't do like the what's it called, the Cave of Ordeals kind of thing.
Sort of
Trial of the Sword.
Trial
Trial of the Sword. Yeah.
I didn't do it either.
I didn't do that. It seems pretty cool because
Yeah.
it's like that really cool side quest from Breath of the Wild where you're like naked and you build up.
Yeah.
That seems cool, but it's not enough for me to like stop playing whatever new is coming out. I'm waiting for like the Champion DLC to come out, which they haven't really said anything.
We got a news story on that later.
Okay.
That it might be coming sooner than you think. Maybe, hopefully, I don't
That'd
know.
be cool.
Did you need a certain weapon to do this quest? For the DLC in that game?
The Master Sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I can't even do it.
You never got the Master Sword?
No, fuck no.
Jeez.
You said to yourself, I took out the final boss with a wooden stick.
I know. I just forgot that you. Yeah. Anyway,
Which is one of the best parts of that game is the fact that you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
Will you buy the DLC for?
Show me
Okay.
something worth buying.
Well, for Shadow Mortar or the Bird Murder.
Oh, well,
yeah.
same thing. Show me something worth buying.
Yeah.
Okay. What if it's like
I'm addicted to all games, not
what
just
if it's
Zelda.
like expansion pack type?
If like I don't know,
Like if it's to that scope, like it's like almost like a half of another game.
I don't know if I want more story content because the story's just not there. And even if it was something good, like I don't want to reward a game that did make a good like plot line. But if they added like a new mechanic or something like just weird with the Nemesis system and a whole other region to take out like a super powerful fortress or something like that, maybe.
Okay.
And it depends on the price and how much I am getting. But I'm gonna say probably not. I didn't get anything for the first game as much as I played it. But yeah, it's one of my
cool.
favorite games to play this year so far.
It's good to hear.
Are there any Nazis in it?
No.
Oh.
I can't.
However,
Oh yes. Bring it.
the river runs red with Nazi blood and dust particles.
Sorry, what?
Oh yeah, Wolfenstein's weapons. Well, first of all, let me just say I started playing Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus.
Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. That's a weird name.
Sorry.
Just
Sorry.
because there's already been like
You think
Wolfenstein
you should say I
3.
played
Just
Wolfenstein
think
1.
it's-
Well, which one?
Just,
Yeah.
Just
I know.
ignore it. This
Yeah.
game
Okay.
is awesome.
Machine Games Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
So I'm not very far into it. I'm only about 2-3 hours, somewhere like that. But man, this game it gets off to a little bit better start than the first game.
Yeah, the first one was a little sluggish, but
So in this one, it's still kind of slow because they're still trying to build a narrative, and it kind of the game picks up right after the events of the first one.
how did the
Okay.
first one end? You
Don't
killed
spoil it.
that.
I need to play it.
God damn it,
I need to
Ben.
play it. I'm assuming you kill like Hitler at the end or something, but it's like Wolfenstein 3D
All right, well then we'll just say
or one of Hitler's minions or something.
It picks
Or
up right
teammates.
after the events, which was something I kind of talked about last week. I was curious about how they do a certain thing,
how'd they do it.
about how they
Yeah.
continue the
Sure.
game.
I mean, I can go upstairs real quick if you guys want to
No,
talk.
no,
about
No,
it.
we're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
No. They did it.
It's good.
Sure.
Okay.
It-
Did they do it in the Wolfenstein kind of way, where it's just
Yeah.
tongue in cheek and just
Yeah,
like,
whatever,
oh
yeah.
fuck it, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm fine with that. That's good.
But yeah, so instead of you walking around without weapons, you wheel around without weapons to start the game. And this game is just fucking dumb, and it starts that way, and it's so cool because right away, like the first enemy, you have the opportunity to sneak up on, and there's a takedown mechanic, like R3, and you do whatever. Takes the guy, just bashes his head against the arm
side
of
of
the
the
wheelchair,
wheelchair? That's
and then
cool.
like just blood spewing everywhere, and you just toss him aside.
That's pretty good.
And from there, you just get better weapons, and it just.
It looks amazing.
So
I've
that's the
seen it.
thing. This the game starts off with you in a submarine, which is eventually a main point in the first game. So like there's like kind of like a Nazi invasion on this submarine, and you're kind of going through, and you're just mowing down people. But like I don't know if you like you're just like a good example of like the lighting in a submarine is like any submarine movie you've seen. Now it's like there's lights, but there's all kinds of shadows
Like,
casting
the constant
and
flashing red lights everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The lighting is like fantastic,
Yeah.
and like I was using shadows to see people coming around the corner. It's very well done. The game's run at 60 frames per second. I haven't
Nice,
seen a
nice.
stutter. I've
This is,
seen a lot of shit on screen at the same time too, and I'm playing on PS4.
How's the lighting compare to PT?
Don't make him have flashbacks. Not so soon.
The one with PTSD. Just
Right.
Yeah. PT's better, but this game doesn't use the same asset over and over and over again.
I think it's interesting that you call out the lighting though, because who talks about lighting ever? But the fact that they did something cool enough to like, and it seems like it plays into gameplay. That's neat.
Yeah, and like it's just very good to look at, and like, you always remember what games look at, like what you think games look like, but then you go back to visit them.
Yep.
I feel like Wolfenstein, like as good as it looked for the time, it was still built for like PS. It was in that transitional era, so it probably doesn't look as good if I was to go back to it. But this looks next gen,
Yeah.
and it just looks so good.
Yeah, because Wolfenstein, well, the one before, that came out on like 360, didn't it?
The one that came out like a couple years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
New Order.
Didn't it?
The New Order came out on, I think it came out on PS4 as well, didn't it?
It was definitely on PS4, but
It was PS3.
It was on 3 and
It was on
360.
Oh, was
yeah,
it on
yeah.
3? Oh, okay.
Because I almost bought on 3, but nah, I'll wait. Because I almost did buy on 3.
Yeah, because they had that thing. If you bought it on 360, you get like half off on
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
or something. Some bullshit.
Oh, no, I think it was like that weird kind of transition where it was like leading in the next gen and you
Yeah.
got like discounts on certain games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or you got
bought
it for free. That was
Yeah.
the better way to do it.
Because
but-
every
of course.
fucking publisher was terrified that PS4 and Xbox One weren't going to sell, as if they,
Yeah,
like,
right.
but they totally did.
Everybody was like backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
You have it.
Yeah.
PS4's like.
we got PlayStation now. You want to
Xbox,
give us $20 a month? I don't know. Fuck you. Suck it.
But yeah, no, this the game ends up picking up obviously, and it's just super action packed, first person shooter. Like I was kind of got myself used to Prey, where everything was kind of slow, methodical, and you want to take your time. Fuck it.
Is this
Just,
more like Doom kind of?
Doom forces you. They say that thing in the documentary, like push forward combat. You're not exactly doing that. You still want to take cover at times, just gunfire everywhere. But no, you definitely. There's been sections where like I couldn't mow down every Nazi in the area because I kept dying, and I think the game kind of facilitated me to run past some of the Nazis and get to the second point,
shit.
run away from it all.
Yeah.
It was they brought back the lieutenant mechanic again, where like if a lieutenant spots you, he'll call
right.
reinforcements. And I've run into a couple areas where there's been like 2 or 3 of them, and once one sees you, everything just goes to shit and you just die.
Yeah.
And I never feel like I'm dying because the game is like cheating me. Like I'm legit dying because I messed up. The lieutenant spotted me. I should not do that path again.
Yeah.
No more. Well, you can do it, but it does do it automatically. It's hitting square to pick up ammo. It still prompts you to do it, but if you walk over the ammo or the health and you need it, it will
picks
pick
it
it up
up.
for you.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I was reading reviews
Yeah,
about
it was kind of tedious and annoying. Like I just
Yeah.
got over it after the first hour, but like it still prompts you, and you're still gonna have to do it for stuff on walls. But if it's just lying on the floor, it will pick it up for you, even if
That's
it prompts
cool.
you.
Okay.
So they kind of fixed that in a way.
I always imagine like BJ just like kicking the ammo in a cool way that it just like automatically lands.
Yeah.
And
Somewhere
yeah.
that holds it. Just
He's just he's such an awesome character, and he's still doing that thing where he whispers to himself, and you're like, man, this guy, like he's so fucked up in the head at this point, but who cares? He's still a badass. He's still just mowing down Nazis left
because
and
like
right.
that trailer at E3 they showed like some dude like tripping on drugs and some shit.
Yeah, I
There was
remember. It was
some,
the
like,
last part.
There's some like 2D
Yeah.
animation going on.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see that happening.
Where are you at now geographically?
I'm still, I think, in like the intro sequence. Like I'm out of like the first legitimate part of the game. I think.
What country are you in?
I'm still on a boat.
Somewhere.
It's somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. Fair. Is that a story thing?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like I'm
No,
gonna...
that's how the game opens.
Alright.
And with that, there is a previously on Wolfenstein, and it's like it's kind of like that traditional footage, and it does it in that way. It's kind of cool, black and white. If you play the first one, it is a very nice reminder of certain key events that happened that I did forget about.
Yeah.
However, it's not going to help you too much if you've never played the game.
What do you mean?
So, like, I wouldn't just jump right into 2 without maybe playing the first one or doing a little bit more outside research on the story of the first one.
Question: in the second one, did they have like a little like encyclopedia like the first one does, where you just pick up different relics and artifacts and gives like a little lore with the thing? Cool.
Yep.
Like newspaper clippings and
Yep.
whatnot.
Yeah, there's little newspaper clippings, little notes. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So Ben should play the first one.
Oh, I'm
should-
getting it.
I know.
Yeah,
you
during the
should
fall sale,
play
it's
the
like
first
$10.
one or like a more extensive recap of what they gave you.
And when it
No, I'll play through it.
and when it does like the previously whatever stuff, is it some like old timey dude talking like previously on Wolfenstein?
No,
In
not
German,
like,
though?
not like that. They were actually using the dialogue from the game, but that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Because this game is very tongue in cheek, and that's like the thing. Like the main menu is literally a white old timey slideshow back. Like
Yeah,
if
'cause,
you
like, I just-
projected a movie on a screen back in the day, is like that yellowish
Yeah.
tint.
Yeah.
Is literally that.
It's all over
and
Fallout,
black
too.
text.
Yeah.
And it's like new game, continue,
Yeah.
settings,
Nice.
whatever.
Yeah, because like when I was playing the first one, I'm not finished yet either, but like I just got like action movie vibes from it the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it very
yeah.
much is.
I mean, you have a guy named BJ Blazkowicz. Like, I just kept
It's
all I think of is
awesome.
explosions. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's-
It's dumb, but like you do care about the characters.
No,
Like,
yeah,
in
I
the
like
first
it.
one, like when there was various moments in that game where something would happen, and I was like,
think of,
oh shit,
uh,
like damn that.
I think of the movie Shoot 'Em Up, and then Motley Crue starts playing in my head.
Shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Shoot 'em up is a dumb
Um,
action movie that has no plot.
No.
Is it that song by Kwarashi?
What?
Shoot 'em up? No, it's hit 'em up.
Yeah.
Light 'em up?
Wait, no, Korash. No, I know that song. I like that song.
Blast 'em up?
Stick 'em up.
Stick 'em up.
Stick 'em up. Music
Yeah,
video
yeah,
was like
yeah.
in a boxing ring.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. No, Shoot 'em Up is a really fun, dumb movie. Just guns blazing everywhere. It's just a hobo just killing
it is
everybody.
really dumb. But no, this game actually has a plot, and I see it developing in different ways that I'm gonna like. But yeah, like the weapon selection, I said like dust particles. There are energy weapons. I got this like energy based shotgun
Nice.
blowing dudes, and they just
You're blowing
got-
dudes.
God,
This game got fucking weird. Go on.
No,
I'm
no,
listening.
no.
DJ Blazkowicz.
I am shooting people with these energy weapons, and they just disintegrate into dust.
Where do you get the energy? So are you
They
saying
just pick
that,
them up.
are you saying the Nazis should have won so we could get energy weapons?
I don't know. I've seen some fucked up shit in this game already,
Alright.
and in the last one, I don't know. We want the Nazis
So-
to win.
You don't have to say who exactly, but is there another enemy type other than the Nazis? Because in the trailer, there's moments it will show like a couple of seconds, like the 40 million trailers they made.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be parts when like you'll see someone else other than the Nazis.
I like I said, I'm very. I'm not far into this game at all.
Okay.
So
it seems like they want to build you up to like what the hell happened.
Yeah.
If you're on this boat for so long, I feel like wherever you land,
It's
be
just
like,
gonna
Whoa.
like I want to spare the story elements because like you know where you're at and everything makes sense, but like if he's gonna play, I don't want to like say too much. But everything makes
but-
sense. Everything makes sense so far, and it's appropriate, and nothing's like, what the fuck just happened here? Besides like the dumb movie moments, action movie moments.
Oh, they actually have a deal. I think at Best Buy or Target for $20 on PS4. It's Wolfenstein, and then was it the new blood or the
Blood.
old
Old
blood?
blood.
It's like
Old
the
Blood.
New
double
Order,
pack.
Old
The
blood.
Old Blood.
Yeah, it's like the double
Yeah.
pack for like $20.
Wait a minute, they made 2 games?
They- it was
It
like
was
an
like
expansion.
DLC, like a
DLC.
But
like
it's like the
that.
prequel, right?
I never played it.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
play it.
I never
But
got
I heard
around to
that. I
playing it.
heard Old Blood's really good.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
heard.
I think like back in the day, Chris tried to make that like
Oh yeah.
game of the year, or
Yeah.
like he was pushing for that in a big way for something. I don't remember
Yeah, he
what.
loved it.
So if when we do Game of the Year this year, can we have like best marketing, probably of the century, and just put Wolfenstein 2?
I'm okay with
Like, it's so fucking good. That's probably my favorite part
I'm
of
kind
it.
of sad I missed it all because I do this thing where once I know I want to watch or play something, I just go media blackout. Like
No, wait, the live action stuff.
See,
That
but
was-
like
that was
the
good.
trailers they made had nothing to do.
I saw
with
some
the
of them.
game.
It was just
the
like,
ones that I saw. at
hashtag no
least.
more Nazis
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
See, but what's funny about that is because they kind of went silent after E3 with it, but then when they started ramping up again, they were showing like the quick snippets like that. But they would show. I haven't played it yet, but there's like a new logo for the Nazis. It kind of looks like the Eiffel Tower.
I haven't.
It's like an
Oh.
armband or something. So it would show BJ just like killing dudes with that on. And then I would follow it, and on the Facebook comments, it'd be like, oh, SJW Bethesda is too scared to use the swastika in the game now. Legit, not even the next day, you see the trailer of BJ punching a Nazi in the face, and it says like "No more Nazis." Like,
Captain
I
America,
swear, I'm pretty sure they just saw the comments like, "No, motherfucker."
No, they probably planned it. They
we're
probably
legit,
knew exactly what the backlash was going to be on.
God, they're
planned
so-
it for that.
Yeah, I mean, all the
perfect.
silence, they were
So
like wondering,
perfect.
like, where's the SWAT? I remember all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You never
I need-
put it in
yeah.
there. Like, it's a game that's based on a fictional alternate reality.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah,
But
it's
no,
great.
2 hours in, this game's awesome, man. It's everything I wanted, and I wanted to play more of it. I just want to get through Shadow Mortar, or Shadow War. Now that I know there's an end, like I'm gonna play
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna
it's-
finish it, and then I'm moving on.
Less on your plate.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-mm. I'll find it. You guys.
I'm binging it.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, what are you over there Googling for when it's Bing?
Yeah, exactly.
He gets it already. He gets
we
it.
were in the car last night, and Katie, I asked her something. She's like, I don't know, let me Google it. And I was like,
Google it.
I was like, so
I like that.
I was like, I hear you, Katie. I was like, what it sounds like is you're looking for a search engine with a single syllable. And let me introduce you to a friend of mine.
I'll Jeeves it.
Oh, what I wanted. So
I'll
there
do it.
is a subreddit, or there's a post on the game subreddit going on right now, and it says Wolfenstein II feels incomplete. But then it had the spoiler tag, so I didn't want to read into it. And I was gonna ask if you felt the same way, but you're only 2 hours in.
I'm in 2 hours in.
Yeah.
I'm having the time
Okay.
of my life.
Okay. Okay.
I wonder if they'll do an old blood style.
They 100% will.
We said the same thing about Doom, but
Oh, god damn it.
I know.
God damn it.
God damn it.
God.
Yeah, but good first early impressions of that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll know more next week.
Pretty good. Ben, what'd you get up to this week?
Like I said, I didn't play too much. PUBG, of course. Got another chicken dinner. I
You
mean,
did?
now after you get them, it's just
All
like,
right.
They start dropping?
yeah, it's just like, yeah, all right, next round. I mean, you still stoked.
But this is nice though. Compared,
Yeah.
you know, from where you first
It's
started
not like the
talking
first
about
time. Yeah, it's not like the first time. You know, it's always better the first time. You know, but anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's still fucking awesome. You know, you're sitting there giving virtual high fives with each other, but like, no, it's still fucking dope. I brought this up the other day. I was playing, and the hackers were just fucking on the loose at the time. Like legit, every game I played, you can just tell if there was a hacker, because like the games I would play specifically, they would have
Shooting through the
some jumbled up username, and then killed so and so with the car 98 and just headshot. But the kill feed, it would just be headshot, 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 headshot.
The character doing it's just like a model from Counter-Strike.
Yeah. so like I forgot who I was playing with. It was one of Angelo's friends. Like it went down to the last 5, and he's like, honestly, I don't give a fuck. It's the hacker's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Like not even. Like you couldn't even see it on the screen. Like before you even hear the gunshot go off, it's just right in the head, headshot killer. It's like Jesus. So then
What are they doing to fucking address this? Because that sounds
So-
like shit.
they BattleEye, the client they have for anti-cheating,
Yeah.
whatnot. It said I forgot the fucking number, but
I think it was like 25,000.
yeah,
that they
in a
banned
day.
In a day.
And the tweet was like, "Look, we're not happy about these numbers either, but we just banned 25,000 dudes in a day."
What the fuck?
And like apparently they also
We just
did
started.
like some kind of statistics on it, and it said like 70% of them are from China.
Yeah, okay.
So now people are saying, I mean, it's much better now ever since BattleEye like turned up the volume on anti-cheating.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still there. Like you run into them every now and then.
Yeah, they
But-
just need to make it region locked,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
the service, because you can just hop in with anybody. And like the way it works in China, I've heard, is that you don't buy the game, you buy the cheats, and then they throw in the game key with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What the
so
fuck?
it's like these
So it's
people
like
are
you kinda
intending
have
to
to
cheat,
get-
so I'm
yeah.
gonna buy to cheat, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
it's insane.
Back
And
to
then
our shady deals.
Yes.
I also read some article, someone posted on Reddit, like China's trying to ban that style of game now because it's like too violent.
like
Yeah,
the
like, I-
battleground.
Yeah, the battleground
I also read
type.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Back when like Counter-Strike, they went like in those internet cafes, like some dude got stabbed in the head
Yeah.
with a knife
Yeah.
because they just couldn't. They were a sore loser.
Yeah, Game Rage.
In the game, you got stabbed in the head, or
No,
No,
Internet
real life.
cafe.
oh, IRL.
Like
Yeah.
there's footage of it, like
Jesus.
like butcher knife, whatever. Like they.
I mean, there were some
the
moments
guy
I felt
lived,
that way
but-
too in Counter Strike. I mean, no, but
Yeah, yeah.
nah, yeah, PUBG. Vaulting. It's coming.
No, literally next week. Is
Yeah,
the test
it's
server.
No
test
shit.
servers, man. It's coming. So you know
Ooh.
there's
I like that there's progress with all this. With
Yeah.
you and the game.
there's
You know,
bugs.
it's
They're
like-
coming. There's
People-
bugs.
It's like-
People were pissed last week because they rolled out their plans, and there's so many game-breaking bugs in there right now. And their plan is, hey, vaulting is top priority.
Yeah.
And then we're not going to release any more patches after this one until we go live in 11 weeks.
Oh.
And people are like, but wait a minute, hold on. Like, there's a lot of shit broken in this game that should probably be fixed before 11 weeks.
Yeah.
But
Wait, what's 11 weeks?
11 weeks, I think it's just the end of the year. And they want it out on Xbox One, and they want it out because it's still in early access,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they want it out not early access by the end of the year. So their focus is on that. But I guess everybody who's playing for the next 11 weeks is like, damn, well, there's a lot of shit that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And people are just mad about that. So, I mean, there's two sides to it. You want them to finish the game because technically it's still in early access. And, like, you can't... I mean, you paid for it and everything, but
Yeah.
you knew what you were getting into
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
bought
yeah.
it in early access. But
But now it's
wonder-
become this thing that's so much bigger than...
it's definitely a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Screw it, just do what Fortnite
Like,
did. Release in early access physically.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now because
Yeah,
it's coming to
that's-
Xbox One physical.
Microsoft
Yeah.
probably has so much.
Physical?
Yeah, they're doing a physical copy for Battlegrounds.
But it's going to be in their Xbox, what is it called? Their fucking...
Their preview
creators preview.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me tell you what. That is. What else does Microsoft have this winter to put to complement their Xbox One X? They're pushing
they
Forza
got,
hard for this.
What's that fucking platformer, Super Lucky's Tale?
Yeah.
In 4K?
Yeah.
Whoa!
The game that needs to be in 4K.
Yeah, so there's that. No longer an Oculus exclusive, you know?
Didn't the game that was supposed to be like their killer app get delayed? What was
Yeah,
it?
Crackdown.
Yeah, Crackdown
Yeah,
3.
Crackdown.
Early
Oh,
2018.
Forza, has that already come out?
Forza's
Forza's
out.
out, but it doesn't seem like it's impressive.
It's
Like the new Gran
underwhelming.
Turismo, basically.
Yeah.
Nah,
Unfortunately.
Also, how is that out? Wasn't it supposed to launch with I don't know, whatever.
no, whatever.
I don't know.
But like, I wonder if something like vaulting. I wonder like how easier of a fix that is compared to the rest of the patches they have to do. Because if that takes less time to do first, get out of the way, and I guarantee it'll probably like a week one or day one patch for the rest of the stuff that needs to be fixed.
Well, I don't know because
Or
vaulting
or month one.
Vaulting, I think, is something that is not very easy to do, and I think they're having a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah.
Because this is something that was announced at E3, right? And they're like, damn, it's coming soon. And here we are almost at the end of the year. And I think that's something that they're really struggling with because there's so many different permutations. Can you vault over this, and can you vault it over this
Right,
way?
right.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the test server there's going to be a lot of stuff where people are getting stuck in geometry.
That's what I'm saying. The bugs are going to be out of
yeah.
this world.
So like,
For that.
is it a prompt that comes up to vault, or is it
I
just
don't
like a
know.
space bar to like jump over something?
That's a good question.
The way it
we'll
is
find out
now,
next
and I'm not sure because they do have like the press,
I wanna
like when
say
you're in
it's
that
a-
plane, press X to jump
They
out or
have
whatever.
then,
prompts
like,
for
get into
almost
the cars
everything in
and
there.
stuff.
So I can
Okay.
imagine it being a
Yeah.
prompt, but I can imagine it if you're like, you could do it fluidly. Like, I'm sure you don't have to stop and wait for the
Right.
prompt and things like
See, I
that.
hope it is a prompt because
At
if
least I
not, I'm going to be pressing like F the whole
Right,
time
messing
like,
up
as
and-
I'm
yeah.
playing,
Yeah.
throughout the whole game.
Or at least I hope you can, like, there's a vault button. You can, like, kind of hold it in as you're going forward.
Yeah, that would
and
be
if
cool.
it's held in, you can kind of vault. I don't know. But
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what
Hopefully, we'll get
happens.
to get a hold of it soon.
Next week?
next week.
Or
Test
I
servers.
don't
yeah.
fuck with
Test
test servers. I don't fuck with test servers.
I'll try it just to see how vaulting works. I'm not
Yeah.
going to, like, play
That's
there.
true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, PUBG still pubbing. Other than that, I've been playing that Legacy game. The old 1992 DOS.
Oh,
the
yeah.
haunted.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
What was it called? I forgot.
The Legacy.
The one on
Oh,
Itch?
No, man. I had it
It was on
launched
PC.
DOSBox
Yeah,
on PC.
yeah.
Oh!
Remember I told you it was like
Oh,
nearly
actually,
The dungeon,
Gotcha.
like the dungeon crawler
Yeah,
RPG.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
hard as
yeah.
Haunted
balls.
Mansion, yeah.
Got
So
it.
like, I really wanted to play through it, and I don't give like two shits about like Let's Play and like all that because half the time you watch it, it's just them screaming about the game.
That's
But
what's entertaining. It's just seeing the same people do the
Unless
same
you,
things
like,
over and
you have
over
to
again in
specifically
every
search
video.
No commentary.
that's what I'm saying, like
You'll
that, or even
find-
like the shit you guys do, like that stuff's cool because like half the time, like when you go into shit like that, you'll find out cool stuff about the game. So of course, with this game, like within the maybe past 15 years, a total of 10 people have played it.
Yeah.
And 5 of them was me, just on different versions of Microsoft. But so there's this guy on YouTube that did a Let's Play of it and like plays through the whole game. I think it's like 15 parts. And he starts it up. He's like, yeah, I played through this game like 10 or 15 times. So like I'm listening to this guy talk about it, and like in order to like at least have somewhat of a successful run, you have to like basically select the magician, reset all of his stats, and just kind of like butcher his stats.
So you have to respec.
Yeah. Respect. So after that, like the game is somewhat playable, like easier wise. There's this part you find like it's called a fetish.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening.
It's like a voodoo hand, and when you pick it up, it makes it so all of the zombies don't hit you, but they'll start following you because they're attracted to the voodoo doll hand thing. So ever since then, I've just been like actually playing through it. So I've been enjoying it quite a bit now.
I'm confused. This game came out in the early 90s?
Yeah,
DOS,
yeah.
And you're just playing? Okay.
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds
on
like
DOSBox.
it.
I'm so glad Akko's here. Yep. But yeah, those are pretty much the only 2 games I've been fucking with.
Dude, we were at the Halloween party, we were playing Heads Up last night.
Oh, yeah.
And I played the video game one. And then one of the things was, I don't know if you guys know about this Heads Up game. Or you played it over. Okay. And I was doing the video game one. And it was one of the things. And someone said, a shitty old game that Ben really likes, point and click. And I said, oh, Myst.
Missed.
Whatever, man. You guys all know, man.
Oh,
Dude, my friend's
God.
dad was obsessed with playing Myst. Every time I went over there in his basement, it was just always playing Myst. And like
That's-
I never really understood what it was from afar, but I'm more familiar with it now.
Yeah, Myst. That's one of those games you have to. What's that? Oh, no, it's one of those games you really have to like play for, and like it's like my one friend that actually beat it without a guide. It took him and his sister like a year and a half, just like every day at least putting 30 minutes into Myst, just because like the puzzles are just so fucking whack.
I've still never played it.
Did they ever remake it?
Yeah, they did. There's
they?
actually
Did
a
they?
Unity. They remade it in Unity, actually.
Like an official thing?
Mhm.
Or?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's still not as good as the original, but I mean,
Well,
it's
you
still.
How can you improve perfection?
There's a free trial of it. There's a free trial of it on iPhone.
I'm alright. I'm okay.
Oh, what? This game?
Missed.
Myst.
Oh, Myst.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Not
unless
the
you actually played it back then. You're not going to go into like, guys, I've just fucking played this game. Like,
Guys, check it
you
out.
guys need to fucking play it, dude.
Oh, man.
Fuck, I'm just dropping Wolfenstein and everything. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play with Myst.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
It's on, you can get it, they made a PS1 Classic version. You can get it on
Oh,
Yeah,
good,
it's
good,
released
good.
on PS1.
Probably play it on Vita.
Oh, so
my God.
2015, Game of the Year is not Fallout 4, it's actually Myst.
Oh, it's, yeah. Tune in this December when we bring you the best of Myst. God damn it. Akko, what you been playing?
Okay, so I've actually been playing a lot of games this past week because I'm going back to school and we just got done midterms and I was like, I'm going fucking buck wild. I took off work all next week and I've been playing a lot of pub.
Yeah.
Just like Ben. Like I stopped playing a while ago and I got back into it.
I was about to
and-
say, because you played for a little bit, then you stopped.
Yeah, and like when I got back, like I stopped playing right before they put in first person mode. And
Oh,
I went
yeah.
back in and played first person mode and I was like, damn, this is like the
game
coolest
changer,
fucking
man.
experience that I've had in a very long time.
You
like
prefer-
pub is like the best shitty game I've ever played.
Okay.
It's,
Shitty by what? Like,
it's
just,
shitty, just like optimized, very
It's
shitty.
janky,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Very janky. Like
yeah.
it's like they literally went onto the Unreal Asset store and just plopped everything in there
Yeah.
and just fucking made this shitty game, but it's so good. It's like it's so fucking good. And I've just been playing that and the first person mode is just so cool because like you can kind of fucking corner creep in third person mode. You
Rainbow
have so
Six
many,
style.
yeah, right. But in first person mode, everything's like the stakes are really fucking high because like you can't just hold Alt and then while you're running and look around you 360. You have to like stop and kind of look around and
Yeah,
Yeah,
things
you
like
can't
that.
actually do like a 360
Yeah,
look.
'cause-
You
Yeah,
have to, like,
it's very, very, very immersive.
Yeah.
And,
Can't do third person in real life.
like because you can hear footsteps, but you have
You
to
have no
fucking,
idea where-
Yeah, you have to like go
Literally
over corners,
turn.
like yeah.
Ah, man.
So that's been great, just playing with friends, and we have friends that are playing that literally at all
man,
hours
if
of
that
the
was
day.
VR.
So you
Do you
can,
play solo, a group up?
so yeah, that's another thing. Is I'm usually playing with a group because like we have a Discord, and there's usually at least 5 or 6 people playing at any time. But I will play solo. I have no problem playing solo, just dropping into like the real high fucking risk places. Because if you're playing solo and you go in and drop, it's basically a game of deathmatch, and then you can start playing pub. If you win, but if you don't win, then you just go and drop again, and it's high risk. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it's like really fun to kind of get the mechanics of the game down that way.
Bloodbath.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so been doing that. Also, in a complete 180, I've been playing this game called Eternal.
Eternal.
Is that the card
Is
game?
that-
Yeah, that's the card game.
Oh,
So
Stop it.
You
Sorry,
have
Mark.
Matt's full attention.
Yeah, you into card games? I don't know.
I fucking love Hearthstone, and I'm down for anything.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I don't like Hearthstone. And that's cool that you do. There's nothing wrong with Hearthstone, and I think it's a good
Thank you,
game.
Akko. Fuck you.
Fuck Hearthstone.
Okay, well, I will say about Hearthstone right now is that I played Hearthstone when it was in beta, and I played it when it first came out. And I was like, wow, this is cool. I came from a background where I played a bunch of Magic.
Okay.
And I played a fuckload of Magic, would go to FNM, built a bunch of different decks and different formats and everything like that. And going to Hearthstone, it was cool because you had this digital kind of version of a card game, and you could just go and play it whenever. I stopped playing Hearthstone for like a year or whatever, and then I went back into it. I was like, damn, I have to play a lot in order to have a competitive deck.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing because that turned me off completely.
Yeah, I only play Arena now.
Yeah,
when I
Arena's
play.
always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of different, digital card games that are being made nowadays. So what this game is it kind of looks like Hearthstone. It's like an in-between between Magic and its complexity and Hearthstone and its kind of presentation and ease of getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the company is called Dire Wolf Digital, and they made the Elder Scrolls
The card
card
game.
game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called. But what they did is they got pro Magic players, and they're like, all right, you design a new card game, and this is Eternal. And Eternal has a bunch of different mechanics from Magic. Like it has the idea of a graveyard, and that's where your cards go to. If you discard a card, they're not like gone forever. Like in Hearthstone, you can still do things to them. Like you can reanimate them, or there's mechanics based on that. And you can play things on other people's turns. Like if they try to attack in, you might have like a burn spell that'll kill a creature when they're attacking, and things like that. So there's a lot of complexity and depth to the game, like in
a
Magic.
trap card.
Yeah, it's like a trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Exactly. And but
Dorks.
no, but the thing I love about this game is that it's extremely fucking generous because it has to be in a world of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Like you have to be a little more generous than Hearthstone because
Yeah.
one's gonna play it if it's not.
Right.
So for instance, you log in, you play one ranked game a day. If you win, you get a booster pack. Right off the bat.
Okay.
All right.
And then there's these free-to-play kind of things called gauntlets, and these reset for every ladder period, which is the duration of a month. And what these gauntlets are is you don't have to pay any gold to do them. You just play against the AI against a series of battles that increase in difficulty. And if you reach the end of it, you get a chest you get 3 chests, guaranteed to get booster packs from them, and then you rank up, and you keep on doing that until you reach max rank for that. So you're getting like 12, 15 boosters each month just from doing that free PvP kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing is just like Hearthstone, there's Arena. There's 2 kinds of things like that in Eternal. The first is called Forge, and that's like kind of they give you 3 cards just like Arena, and you
pick one, and you
pick
move
and you
on,
keep on moving
so
on.
you build your deck.
Yeah, and that's the PvP version of it. Now the thing is, you keep the cards that you pick.
What?
Yeah, so you're guaranteed to get some rares. Sometimes legendaries will pop in, and that Forge is the PvP version of it. the PvE version of it. So you're just playing against computer opponents, and similar to Forge, you're ranking up, things like that. And then there's something called the draft, and the draft is, I don't know if you've ever played Magic or anything like that, but
Not necessarily Magic, but no.
yeah, I mean that's probably for the best. It's like people smell, but
Yeah.
it's
I
bad.
like that. I like that.
Do you know the top post on Reddit of all time, and it's just the guy doing like the fucking things at the Magic thing where everyone's butt crack is exposed? It's like actually like that. If you go to like FNM or things like that, it fucking sucks. But the game's so fun. But in Draft, it tries to simulate how it would be in Magic, where everybody gets a booster pack and they open it up, and you have a booster pack and you pick one card and you pass.
Yeah,
You pass to the left.
My friend Charlie goes to those. And
Yeah,
he was telling me
they're
about
super
that.
fun,
Yeah.
and it's exactly this kind of thing in Eternal. And again, you keep all the cards that you pick,
Dang.
and then you try to construct this deck where you're like counter picking people. Like, oh, well, this is a really good card. Maybe I'm not playing these colors, but someone else may be playing these colors, and this is a really good card for them to have. But I don't want them to have it, so I'll take that.
Oh,
And then
okay.
It's useless in my deck, but I
Yeah.
don't want him to have it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm on the Steam page right now, and it says
It's free to play, by the way.
it's free to play.
I was gonna ask. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's free to play, and
Early
it is
access.
fucking generous. It's unreal. And
What does the art look like?
It looks like
That's
League
what
of
I'm
Legends.
generic.
Generic.
Yeah, it's very generic.
Yeah.
Because that's so years ago.
Screens if you want to take a look.
I remember I think independent of you playing it, I was just like, I'm gonna play Magic,
I
and
remember that.
I just started buying cards
It
because
looks
they
like
looked so
Hearthstone.
fucking cool,
Uh-huh.
and that was what attracted me to it. And then I was like, all right, I've been collecting the cards and building a deck, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Akko plays. Maybe Akko can teach me. And we sat down one night, and Akko
Oh,
was
dude,
like,
I remember coming to your house that night. Yeah.
and Akko was like, yeah, so then we're going to do this. And okay, well, I just won. And I was like, oh, all right, cool. Let's try again. And Akko was like, all right, cool. And then, no, well, dude, you want to play? Well, hold on. Let me see your deck real quick. And he fucks around with it. He's like, all right, this is a much better deck. Here you go. Let's play. All right, I just won. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play Magic anymore.
It's so hard. It's hard to get into Magic,
I
man,
know.
because there's so many sets. It's been around for 25
No, yeah.
years or
And they have
whatever.
like
however many
different
long.
generations,
Yeah,
right?
so when you go to teach someone Magic, you're like, hey, okay, here's the rules. And by the way, there exists a card that breaks at least all of these rules.
Right.
So we'll just start really easy,
Yeah.
you know?
But I was always attracted because of the art. It was always like, man, there's fucking cool demons and
Oh my
like
God,
witches
yeah.
and whispers
Yeah.
And
and
there's, I forgot if
swamps.
Hearthstone's like this, but does Hearthstone have like lore on the cards?
Yeah, a
Do
little
they?
bit. a
Okay,
little bit.
yeah, because that's the cool thing about Magic is that they release in sets, and these
Well,
sets
the thing about
have worlds.
Hearthstone is like it's taken from World of Warcraft, so
Yeah, right.
you kind of
Yeah.
already know the lore. So
Mhm.
I never played World of Warcraft. It's whatever. I just want cards. I want good cards. Give me the good cards.
that
Let me
was-
build a deck.
So Eternal, how does the art stack up against Magic?
How does the art stack up against Magic?
Because that's the thing. Like,
Nah,
Just generic.
and that's,
Yeah.
Eternal's a very generic looking.
Not gonna lie, it had some like League of Legends.
That's what I'm saying.
vibes
It,
from the-
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
and
looking at.
the UI has
Yeah,
looks
I
a
mean,
lot like
if
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
art's a make it or break it kind of thing for you in these games, you may not like it. But
Yeah.
if you, I'm approaching it from
from
a
you're-
playability.
yeah.
Like, are
Yeah.
is it feasible to create a deck that's competitive
It could
in a
be much
reasonable
worse,
amount of
though.
time? Yeah.
No, you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Well, I
just
mean,
a-
everyone it's subjective, right? So
Yeah.
it's whatever you find that you want to play in the game. But as far as the actual card game, its complexity and its depth, I like a lot better than Hearthstone. The rate at which it rewards you is infinitely better than Hearthstone, and it's a lot less random. There's still cards that do random effects,
Yeah.
but they're few and far between. So it's more about I built this deck, and I built a deck that has good synergy, and I'm likely to see the results of this deck, you know? Whereas in Hearthstone, there's a lot of
A
cards,
lot of luck.
a lot of RNG cards, right? And it's kept to a minimum in this game, and I personally like that. I can see it makes for hype moments in Hearthstone if, you know, you're streaming or in a
Yeah,
tournament,
yeah.
and it's like, oh shit, I could come back if this
Your
RNG works in my
Ragnaros
favor.
just hit the right
Yeah,
card of
yeah,
the
exactly.
5 you need it. Yep.
Exactly. But as far as like a daily, I want to play a lot of games of this. I like it to be consistent, and I like me winning
No, that's
being
good.
because I made this deck, you know? And I think if you like card games, I think this is 100% the best digital card game out right now.
All right, Joe, can you go to Steam real fast?
Yeah. Is there an iPad version yet?
Yes.
Yo, I was about to say,
Yeah, dude,
this.
I played fucking there's puzzles, so when you're pooping at work or whatever, there's
Yeah.
little puzzles that are like solve the board state and you get gold from them, and it'll teach you about different keywords and stuff like that.
awesome.
So it'll come to this thing where it's like win this turn, and they have like 10 guys and you have one guy, and it's like, oh shit, how am I going to do this? And then, you know, they give you a set of cards and it teaches you about weird interactions because the interactions can get pretty complex.
Because
Yeah.
it's cross-platform, right?
It's cross-platform completely.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, Android can play with iOS, can play with Steam and everything like that.
Ooh.
And are you carried between the?
Yep, you create a single login, so I can I go to work, I poop at work, and you bring it up and you do something there, and then I go and play on my PC, and then right before bed I'm playing on my iPad, and it's all on
Damn.
the same account. I'm still getting the same rewards.
Because that's what I loved about the Pokemon trading card game, the digital
Yeah,
one that we
yeah.
got into years ago. Was like I was playing on my computer
Uh-huh.
and I was playing on my iPad. Didn't matter. And when I was buying real cards, I was cashing in the fucking things for digital cards.
Uh-huh.
Fucking
Well,
cool.
I'll tell you what, and here's I've actually been a salesman this entire time, because if you guys go and play this game, wait,
Great.
wait for me to send you a link
Yeah,
with
yeah,
my
yeah,
email
yeah.
because we get rewards
Oh my
if
God.
we
Of
both play it.
course.
fucking
So I
love
got you guys. But for real, it's like a sick game, and I look forward to playing it every single day.
Yeah, me too.
It sounds like they got the right
Me
idea
too.
for
There
getting
it goes.
a wide
There
You're
it
audience.
downloading
is.
it now?
Oh,
Pull the
yeah.
trigger,
Yeah,
dude.
That boy should be on the iPad when I get home. It's gonna be good stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
God.
I think you're really gonna. If you like Hearthstone and you like those kind of games, I think you're very much gonna like it.
So what do you buy in it? Just like card packs?
So there's the most thing you can buy. It's kind of like Hearthstone, where you can create individual cards from this thing called Shiftstone, and that's kind of like Dust in Hearthstone. Where if you have an extra of cards, then you can convert it to this
It's
currency.
like a loose system where you dismantle the gear for spare parts and
Right.
use it for later gear.
And then there's two other kinds of currency. There's gold, which you can use. That's in-game currency. And then there's these like diamond things. I forgot what they're called, where you buy it with real money. Right. But you can spend it on that drafting stuff I told you about, or you can spend it on booster packs. Just like Hearthstone, you don't want to buy booster packs. You want to,
Use the gold.
use the gold to play arena. And you want to do the
And do
same
it
thing
that
in this.
way.
You want to keep on playing draft and things like that.
Is the arena like Hearthstone? Is it 12 wins or how many wins?
7 wins, and
7.
you increasingly get better rewards as
How
they
many
go on.
strikes do you get?
2 in the PvE one, Forge, and then 3 in draft.
Okay.
Are you? Have you put real money into it yet?
Yes.
And
You don't... I did it because I'm impatient.
yes.
You do not need to do that. 100% you do not need to do that. If you put in the time and you learn the mechanics of the game and you're winning, you're going to break infinite on draft and things like that.
That's cool.
But me, I bought like the Founders Pack. I really like the game. I want to support them.
That's
And
that's.
I bought the Founders Pack, and they gave me some of that like one currency, and it gave me this cool portrait, and it gave me lands. Oh, in this game, it's like Hearthstone. There's the mana where you keep on getting the thing every turn. This is more like Magic, where you have
your
land
set
cards.
energy. Yeah.
So you have to make sure you budget your energy in your deck. You have a certain, what's it called?
Rhythm?
Proportion
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
lands to make sure you're not getting, land
Under or
fucked, as they
over.
call it.
Yeah.
Or land flooded. But if you get the Founders Pack, you get cool little holographic shiny lands that look really cool.
Hell
So
yeah.
I got that.
So is this something they're doing free to play now and they're intending to sell later?
Free to play always.
Decent.
Yeah, it's in a world where you have to compete with Hearthstone, right? So you can't make a card game where you spend money and then have other shit. Because
Yeah.
if people see that, they're going to say, well, I could just play Hearthstone for free.
For free, yeah, sure.
Why would I ever do that?
I'm just saying, and Hearthstone's not the only one like that anymore. You got the Sky, the Elder Scrolls one.
And there's like Gwent and...
and
Oh, yeah,
then
Gwent.
the
Forgot
Dota
about
one's
Gwent.
around the corner too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Thank you.
Everyone's excited for that one.
I fucking can't wait.
Oh, the Half-Life 3. Oh, the
Yeah.
Well, I know what's.
I want to see what
Is it-
I
is
don't
it
really
Artifacts?
care about Dota, and I
That's
like
it.
card games, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. But I
Yeah.
can understand why people are upset. And,
Yeah.
There's something about lane. I don't know. They said there's gonna be a laning mechanic. I can't wait.
yeah. So,
Sure.
but
Comes out this year.
as far as I'm concerned, there's actually a Magic game coming out that they're trying to make more accessible, like Hearthstone, called Magic Arena, and I signed up the beta for that.
Yeah.
But if they actually do that, I'm gonna play that because Magic's the best card game and probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
So, but for now, this is a very close second.
Because the digital magic shit dropped off a little while ago, right?
See, they made a couple of those, didn't
They have two separate things. They
yeah.
have the duels thing, which they stopped supporting in
Yeah.
favor of this going forward, and then they have the Magic Online, which is a cesspool of fucking secondary markets, and because it's like real money, like you
Yeah.
spend real money to do things just like you would in paper, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it's a weird secondary market where you have to pay bots to get cards, and they go get the cards. It's very fucking weird, and the UI is disgusting. It looks like it's from the 90s.
The one that was on like PlayStation and
That's Duels of the Planeswalker, which
Yeah.
ended up becoming Duels.
right on iOS. Yeah.
And iOS
yeah.
and Steam and everything like that, but they stopped supporting that in favor of this new arena coming out. And this new arena is kind of like their next step. They're trying to like make Magic 1-to-1 with releases going forward, and this is like their next evolutionary step to kind of be closer to Hearthstone.
That's cool.
And I think that looks cool. If it pans out and it works, that's good because Magic's an amazing game, and I'll try it. But for right now, Eternal is
all the way.
fucking. It's
If
fucking
they,
awesome.
if Magic did what Pokemon did, that I just got so burnt out on fucking Pokemon because
Yeah,
we all did.
yeah.
But the way that game interfaced with the real cards and the digital cards and that whole like that was if they can pull that off. With
I even
this,
heard like Magic was easier to learn than Pokemon, in some cases.
probably.
Oh, dude. It depends on what format you're playing because just like Hearthstone has did they call it standard in Hearthstone where it's the last couple of sets?
It's standard and what's it? Wild? I think it's the other one.
Wild's where everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so Magic, there's 25 years of cards or whatever.
Right,
so
right.
there's the thing that's called everything is legacy, and there's like decks that cost thousands of dollars, and you have to play these decks or you're gonna lose. But they have increasingly like backlogged versions in Magic. Like there would be one called Modern, and that's like the last 8 sets.
Yeah.
Whereas Standard's the last 2 or 3 or something like
Got
that.
it.
And the way you would approach the game is completely different because the pool of cards
It's a
increases.
different meta.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different meta completely. So I think if you're playing Standard, Pokemon might be similar to how Magic might be complex or less complex.
Okay.
But if you go backwards and introduce more sets that have infinitely more keywords or different, ways you can interact with the board,
yeah.
I think Magic gets really very, very much complicated. That's why there's like judges. They're like there's different levels of judges, and you have to like go to like judge school or whatever. You have to get like a certification.
That's awesome.
They have
That's so
they have
cool.
a convention at the Gaylord, don't they, for Magic?
Oh, yeah,
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 Vice
yeah.
did a documentary on it. I
Oh,
remember
that's
that.
at the Gaylord?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or at least the last one was.
Yeah, I bet that place
So
smells
cool
terrible.
to go to school.
I'm sure it smells
I-
just like MagFest.
Dude,
Yeah, that's probably place smells exactly like
I
Magfest.
think there was one happening during MagFest.
There's always
believe
Magic at Magfest.
Yeah.
Like
There's
there-
always Magic in Mag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to pull off. Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark. I'm sure. Sorry.
No apologies needed. The more the merrier.
Yeah, you piqued my interest with this. I'm gonna.
Uh-oh.
I think it's worth trying. It starts off really slow because it's teaching you the mechanics
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
game.
yes.
And if you don't play a lot of card games, maybe you'll get a lot out of it. But I was just clicking through it like, all right, let me get to the fucking game.
Yeah.
But once you get through that, you start getting into it, and it's been great.
I'll take a peek at it.
Yeah, man.
Been playing anything else?
Well, yeah, Well, I think we'll talk about it in a little.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Mark, what you been up to?
I mean, there's only probably that one worth mentioning.
Okay.
It's just the one that
It's
I
the
probably
one.
Oh, the one?
The one.
Well, before we get to the one,
Neo.
I
Oh,
played.
sorry.
I played something called Mario plus Rabbids
Oh.
Kingdom Battle.
Just this past week?
Just this past week, I ran into Akko in the streets, as you do.
That's how we got here. He followed you home.
Yeah. And we were talking about games and whatever, and we were talking about. Akko brought up an interesting statement that I haven't really been thinking about because I'm kind of terrified of December and fighting and whatever. But Akko said, I'm paraphrasing here, but 2017 is the best year for video games
Of all time.
of all time.
Yeah, and I'll stand by that.
A lot of games came out. A lot.
Well,
Not only did a lot of games come out, but a lot of fucking great games came out.
Yeah.
and we can talk about Nier Automata later, but part of it, Akko brought up Rabbids,
mad.
Mario and Rabbids, and talked about how fucking great that game was, and I was like, man, I really burnt out on it. And I remember looking at your like playing page or whatever the fuck it is on Switch, and you would put like a lot of fucking hours into that game, and I was like, how the fuck did you get this? Because we talked about it, like when that game got announced, we were like, or leaked, we were like, the fuck? And then they showed it off at E3, and we were like, oh, got it, best game ever. Like, I can't wait for this fucking game. I think I was more excited about that than it was Odyssey to a certain point. And then I dropped off on it after like World 2. And then Akko was like, dude, So, because we flew out and I didn't have Odyssey because it didn't exist yet, on our plane ride, I was like, well, Switch. And I really wanted to do the like,
You want to be that commercial.
I wanted to be that fucking commercial, man. So as soon as
We got to do the rooftop now. Like,
yeah, it's coming. Well, I'm going to New York, so I got plans to find an elevator, get to the roof, find Karen, turtleneck, got it. I'm on the plane, I was like, I'm doing it. TV tray, Joy-Cons off, fuck yeah, I just didn't have Skyrim. But I fired up Rabbids, and I was at the beginning of World 3, and for the duration of my flight out to El Paso, I got to the final boss in World 3. It was perfect timing because it's October and it's spooky, and World 3 is all spooky and ghosts and pumpkins and
Is that the
cool
one I was
shit.
playing?
Probably
Where I found the moon you couldn't find?
What was that?
not Odyssey. No. Mario Rabbids.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Not that.
This is the strategy game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the XCOM game.
I just keep hearing Mario, and I keep thinking of the one that actually matters. Sorry.
Oh, shots fired.
Hot take.
Yeah. And that game, when you're actually playing the strategy part of that game, it is really good. It's everything in between that.
You don't like
makes
the
it-
exploration parts?
Fuck no.
Really? Oh, dude, I liked it.
It like, they're cool. They're not as good as they could be, which I think is where I'm like, I don't know where it falters for me, but like there's parts of it where I'm like, okay, let me figure out this puzzle. Like there's a little bit, but then I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? I just want to go play the goddamn game. And then like navigating, I think knowing that Odyssey exists and knowing what Mario games feel like and can feel like, that kind of like traversal through the world is just not exciting where you're so grounded. You're not actually controlling Mario, you're controlling the fucking Roomba. and there's no platforming, which I know they didn't want to do that. Like I get that, but it's still just like there's a disconnect or something that's just not.
So what do you want? Just battle to battle to battle, or did you want a more fleshed out exploration system?
I'm thinking it's maybe something more like Super Mario RPG or Mario and Luigi, where you can still jump, but it's not the main focus of the game.
I don't even know what I want.
It's a hard thing to approach, right? Because you have
Yeah.
this game where the main gameplay hook is it's a tactical game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you don't want to add too much to it that's not related to the main gameplay hook, because you
Right.
can add platforming in, but like, do you really?
Then it really
what does that
draws
really
away.
add to the main gameplay?
yeah.
you
But
know?
then what does going through this world really add to?
Well, yeah, that's another point, and it's how else do you tackle that? Because you could do the XCOM
I would
route,
say do the XCOM route.
where you have like the base building and
Just
whatever
like a hub
and things like that, and that's a completely valid way to go about it.
Yeah.
But when you look at Mario, one of the things you do think about is exploration, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure from a game design perspective, they probably look down and they're like, well, fuck, how do we do that? You can't base build with Mario.
Right.
Like, how do you,
yeah.
how
I
do you
was saying
explore in
also
this?
Mario does this thing where all Mario games are simple to a degree, and like XCOM is the exact opposite of
Yeah, right.
simple.
Yeah.
There's just too many moving parts in that game.
Yeah, I mean, but I thought for what it was, as a tactical game, where I thought the in-betweens where you're exploring and solving little simple puzzles and you go around little corners and you find chests, I thought that was, rewarding until you get to the next thing. I understand that, and I agree with that it's not too complex
Yeah,
and
and I
things
think
like that.
I think also like the rewards just aren't that.
Yeah, the rewards suck.
It was like
if
oh,
you don't get a weapon, I'm never going to look at this fucking armor.
Yeah, okay, I got a fucking statue or a piece of art. Like, who gives a shit? Or I got a song. I mean, the music, great.
The music, dude, I didn't even know Grant Kirkhope fucking did the soundtrack to that. I was listening to it. I was like, oh, that's why the ukulele soundtrack wasn't that good. He was probably working on this game.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking so good. But yeah, fuck, I don't know. You're right. I mean, I don't know what else you would do to get through that world, but it just doesn't. I don't know. Playing the game though, being in it, the battles. I think that's the problem with working through the world is like every time I finish combat and I get through whatever the combat challenge is, and I get back to the map, I'm like I don't want to have to walk to another battle. I'm just like that's the thing where I'm like I want to do another battle. I'm feeling that like. Ugh. But I'm also like, well, now I gotta go solve this stupid fucking puzzle before I can actually do that. And do I really want to do that? Should I just go play Picross? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I can understand where you're coming from, and if you don't like those in betweens, then I could see.
They're not like damning. It was just like you spend so much time like thinking and plot. Like your brain is being pulled in one direction of just like I need to problem solve this, and then to be kind of just like thrown back the other way. You're just like, oh, all right, I'll think about this, and then okay, huh?
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, no, I can see that. But also the battles themselves, although very simple,
So good.
so good.
And I ended up, so we talked about like who we were running with, and you had mentioned Rabbid Luigi.
He was just OP.
And my party had always been Rabbid Peach, Mario, and straight Luigi. Regular Luigi is what we call him. Reg Luigi.
Right.
And I dropped him in favor of Rabbid Luigi just to give it a shot. Man, that vampire mechanic.
Dude, it's
So good. So if he touches somebody, he'll vampire their health away. So
okay.
there's
game-
a mechanic where like you when you move, you can move on the space of an enemy and then keep on moving, and it'll do damage that doesn't count as like a gun thing. So you can essentially like move, attack them, and then go into cover and shoot them.
Yeah, like you'll start here, your enemy's here, you can move, and as you move past them, you can kind of like hit them and then keep going.
I like that you smeared a grid.
I know.
Yeah, I'm using the grease of my iPad screen to draw this out for you.
Yeah, and then you could take it a step further, because then you can upgrade. There's like an upgrade tree for each character. So for Rabbid Luigi, you obviously only care about the movement part.
Right,
So
yeah.
you go to the movement part, and you can upgrade it so that you're running through a maximum of like 4 people now. So you can run through 4 enemies. Then you can upgrade the vamp damage to make sure you're getting back 100% of the damage you vampire. And then you can upgrade it again to increase the damage. So you're running through, and each time you're doing 160 damage, which is a fucking lot. That's like
It's
like almost like half health of people.
Yeah.
And then it's just OP.
It's fucking dope. It changes the game.
I noticed
entirely.
that's what they did. They made the rabid characters like really good to
Yeah.
kind of like make you
incentivize
use
you
rabbits
to not
more.
incentivize, force you really.
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
'cause-
you're not really given a choice because it's just like.
Yeah.
Although Luigi's got that fucking stone cold sniper shit.
Oh, yeah, he's really good for DPS, just single high fucking damage.
Really good. But yeah, I got through it. I got through most of that world. The only thing that stopped me from beating the boss is the plane was landing, and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta get off the plane now and go to where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, it was good. But
I thought it was a very pleasant surprise. I was going in.
Totally.
Again, like I was telling you, like I signed up for this credit card on Amazon, and they gave me $70 as like bonus bucks, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll fucking buy this Mario Rabbids game coming out.
Yeah.
And then I got it not expecting anything, and I got like a game that was extremely competent, and I liked more than I ever could have imagined going into it. So I was very impressed by that game.
How many more worlds do I have after 3?
Just 4 words.
Just 4 worlds?
Worlds total.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I thought it was gonna be like 8.
No.
It's it's weird because like in each world you'll have not necessarily like World 1 has 8 stages, but there might be 3 battles in one stage.
Okay.
So you might be doing more or less as you go through.
Yeah, and if you're going for 100%, you're probably going to get like 40 or 50 hours out of the game, but you can blast through it and get half of that time if you're not doing all the challenges and the side stuff.
Because and then there's like the perfect. Yeah, it's a whole.
What a nice little exclusive.
I mean, dude, it's really good. I definitely like Steam Lost. But it was cool to go back and do it on the plane.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the flight home, I played something else that maybe or maybe not had Mario in the title. We're going to talk about that after a quick break. We'll be right back. It's 1996.
I mean,
Yeah. The Nintendo 64 is here, and with it, the greatest game of all time.
look at my lips.
Pilot Wings.
Bingo. Got it.
I was waiting for someone to say something.
Yes.
When you shoot Mario's face on the not Eiffel Tower, Mount Rushmore, and it turns into Wario.
Yes. And since 1996, have we yet to see? Yeah, look, there it is on the wall. One of our old cover stories. We haven't seen the likes of a good Mario game like this since then. What the fuck am I trying to say?
There hasn't been a good open world style 3D Mario game since Mario 64 is what you were trying to say.
Bingo.
Some people would debate Sunshine.
Well, Sunshine's good.
I never played Sunshine.
Galaxy's great.
Sunshine has a rough start.
Galaxy's great, but
I
Galaxy's
like
a
it.
different thing to me.
Galaxy's not an open world kind of sandbox.
Because it's more stage-based.
It's open galaxy.
It's open galaxy.
That's always equate like 3D Mario to 3D Mario to 3D Mario, not the way they're designed.
I did the same.
Sunshine came out at a bad time, I think.
Well, it came out on the GameCube, which nobody
Yeah.
bought.
It came out with too many fucking blue coins to collect. That's what it came out with. But other than that, it was a very good game.
Because when I look back at that time, especially the GameCube time, you had, for me, it was my cool dude time and Resident Evil on GameCube, like the remake. Then you had 4, which like those were the fucking games to play at the time. And I can't remember if Sunshine came out before or after that, but it was around that time when I was playing.
Sunshine was before 4.
Yeah,
I think.
Was it?
Before 4. I don't
Was
know
it?
if it was before remake.
I mean, I don't know when exactly, but it was, for me, Sunshine just came out at a bad time, which is why I didn't fuck with it. Like, I played it for, like,
for some reason, like
got a few things, and I was like, nah, I don't care.
the box art wasn't appealing to me.
Yeah.
I just didn't care. For some
Felt very
reason.
lazy. It was just Mario, and it was, like, some kind of weird
Yeah.
thing in the back.
His best move in Smash.
That's true. I loved Galaxy. Like, Galaxy 1 and 2. I remember I missed 2 because that was, like, when the Wii dried up. And then I had this, like, once Project Cafe got leaked or whatever, I was like, oh, shit, the Wii's dope. And I'm going to go buy a bunch of shit. And I went on a Wii Renaissance, and I played through Super Mario Galaxy 2. But since then, I've just been like, man, I want good ass. I want Galaxy 3. I want something. And now we've got Super Mario Odyssey. 2017.
Boy.
It's fucking really good, man.
It's okay.
It's just fine. Who cares?
But okay, I mean, fucking amazing.
Oh my god. So I was pissed because part of the system update 4.0 allowed preloading for certain titles. And I was like, oh, well, they did that. Obviously, Mario Odyssey is going to be one of them. Before I leave on this trip, let me preload it. That way I don't have to worry about this bullshit while I'm in the middle of the goddamn desert. So that on the flight home, I've got Mario ready to go. So before we leave that night, turn on my Switch and I'm like, let's do it. I go to the eShop, pull it up. No. You can add it to your wish list, but you can't preload it.
Huh.
I'm like, all right, that's fine. Whatever. I'll figure it out when we're there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're on the goddamn flight out there. And as soon as I turn on my Switch, somehow before I left Wi-Fi at home, it had added an update to like the little news section on your lock screen that said, preload Odyssey now. So I'm in the
I guess
fucking
I'm on the
airport.
plane,
Yeah, or I'm on the plane, can't fucking preload anything. I'm like, all right, great. So then I had to go to I went to a diner, tried to load it. Their Wi-Fi was hitting a high 5 megabytes per second.
Blazing speeds.
Blazing speeds, 1997. And then we went to a different coffee shop, and they had much faster. It still took me an hour to download it, but
Yeah.
I got that shit. Played in handheld mode the whole flight from El Paso across. Whew! What a goddamn game. So where's everybody at with it? What's...
And we're gonna say this in number of worlds, right?
I don't know how we do that. Because if I say a no...
I know I'm earlier than you and you. So
I'll just say I'm a few worlds in.
I'll say I'm a few more worlds.
I know you're a few more worlds in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I saw where you were.
I'm in the sand spot still.
Yeah, so we're
It's
very
like the
early
third
on, a
world.
I
worlds in.
just made it there
You just made it
Yeah.
to sand.
Yeah.
All right.
because I took my time in the one.
And I would
before it.
say that's probably the first like real open environment in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to the first one, but
Mhm.
I consider this one like the first main one.
Yeah,
in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
But the game starts off, Bowser's getting married.
You're throwing right into it. I like it.
Yeah,
it is right to the point.
yeah.
Thank you.
Bowser's getting married. He's got Peach. She's ready to go, I guess. I don't know.
She's got crowning.
Because
Yeah.
what I like about that, it's not like, oh, it's a nice fine day and Mario's going for a walk.
Oh,
and then,
here comes
something
Bowser.
happened.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Peach.
Mario, get wrecked.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah, Mario got fucked up. His hat's all tattered and fucked. And Bowser's kidnapped his woman to go off to the sky. And yeah, the
They're gone to November.
GTN, man. GTN. They got so you're joined by Cappy this time around. Little ghost hat, who I'm hoping it's a Boo under that hat by the end.
No, it's from a world where there's a lot of those inhabitants, so
I know.
that's just them.
it's actually like a little dead Yoshi from Super Mario. World.
Damn, got him.
After all this time, all the ones you used to get to that. Yeah, all right.
Did you know?
Yeah.
It's actually a Minish.
Yeah, so the whole thing with this game is you're using the hat to capture
Uh huh.
I love it.
Mario enemies and
Okay.
kind of inhabit them. And when they showed that off, I was like, I don't know about that. Like, it just didn't seem like...
No?
I didn't want to... I really didn't like... I just wanted a fucking Mario-ass Mario game, and this
Yeah.
seemed like some weird...
Oh, I was all for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I just...
Because it seems like the way they do it is so minimal.
well, now that I played it,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah, okay,
oh yeah,
I can
you're
see
barely
from-
in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Yeah, I can see
it's
where
not
it's
even
from.
it's not even like the suit mechanic of previous Mario games where you're like, you get in that suit and you're in it until you take a hit. Like, no, you're in this until you decide to get out of it, or if it's something like the Bonsai Bill, like it blows up or something.
Yeah, it's like time and
Or
stuff.
Bullet Bill, not Bonsai Bill.
Bonsai
Bonsai Bill's the big one.
Yeah.
Bullet Bill. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think so far?
It's fucking amazing, man. It's like, so this is in a world where, flashback to late '90s, Akko,
Yeah.
and favorite games of all time are like Mario 64, Banjo Kazooie, and Banjo Tooie.
Yeah.
And those are still my favorite kind of games, like
Yeah,
the
nothing's
Collecticon
changed.
kind of thing. And so I was excited as fuck for Ukulele to come out. I was like, dude, we're back.
Yeah.
And I played it and stopped playing it very quickly.
Really?
But then that was pre-patched, and then they patched things and
Yeah.
fixed some of the camera and some of they tweaked, they improved the graphics on level 3, and then fucking went back and finished it. And it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like the return to form that I wanted from that kind of sandbox, open world platforming kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then, Sleeper Hat in Time came out,
Oh, yeah.
and that was sick. And then Mario Odyssey is like the fucking game that I wanted.
This
right?
is the
And
one.
This is like exactly what I wanted. There's like worlds that have a lot of hidden shit in there. You got to go explore, and you can explore to your heart's content. and each world is extremely varied. The theming in that game is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but when you open up the map, it's a brochure of the world you're in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was cool. Yo, I've seen that earlier.
like every time I go into a new world, I open up the map immediately and just
And
read
just look,
about
yep.
the background
Yep.
of the level.
And it like gives you like little insight on like where you can look for hidden things
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so smart.
exactly.
Very intuitive.
And it's that kind of things I love because they build up. Like I love the world that they're building because
Yeah.
even like the little things like now that there's not like speech like there was in Sunshine or whatever, but they have their own little like gibberish.
It's this
And
weird.
You hear
And
some
if it
key
could-
words.
Yeah, you can hear keywords
Yeah.
like Mario Bowser and things like that.
Good.
And it's weird, but I think it really fits into the world, and it's just like a small thing like that kind of like expands on what they're going for in this world, and it makes it seem that much more polished.
Yeah.
And it's those kind of things. It's that kind of quality that I've seen throughout the game that is why I've liked this game so much so far.
Yeah. It's fuck. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So like coming just from Mario 64, haven't really touched too many Mario games in between.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't never really like that heavy into the series since then.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when 64 came out, that I was obsessed. Because I just never played anything like that, and what makes Mario different from like other 3D platformers is that not only is it like one of the more like defining 3D platformers out there, but it really excels in terms of like movements and the complexity of how you platform, all the different flips, all the different like tricks you can do to get to certain heights in other areas. Like I don't see many other games really grabbing a hold of that part of it.
Yeah.
So and I never really learned all that as a kid. I only knew like a couple few things. I didn't realize all the shit you could do in 64. It's also like speed runs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they like you can do that again on this one. And I like caught myself like early on, and even in the menu they give you little tidbits on
It's
how to
an
do
action
these
guide.
certain
Yeah, an
moves.
action
Yeah.
guide.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, and every time you travel between a world, Cappy's like, all right, we got some time in the air. I'm going to get you up to speed. And he just reminds you of a different
Another
mechanic.
cool world building thing.
Yeah, just a little...
yeah. I was
Put you
like,
into the
oh
game.
right, you can do that. Like run around so fast and you start twirling.
But this
and-
is the first Mario game since 64,
Yeah.
if you don't count Flood and Sunshine or whatever, that
Yeah.
really expanded upon his moveset. Because I think this is the first Mario game where you can do things like rolling.
Yeah, you've never been able to roll.
This is the first one where you can ground pound jump, like ground
Yeah.
pound super jump or whatever.
Yeah.
And like going through the action list, I was like, damn, this is like actually new stuff that they added to Mario's palette, not including the Cappy things where you can throw out his hat and you
And
can
jump on
it
the hat
and
and
use
jump
that as a
off of it.
platform and
Yeah.
things like that. And I think it's really cool that they finally went back to his moveset and expanded on it and made it that much more, intuitive and complex and in depth.
seeing the rolling, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. And the rolling I
This
didn't
is like
even know
Sonic.
about.
It's like, oh man, they just.
I remember seeing that trailer when it was in Donk City.
Yeah.
And I was like,
New
dude,
Donk.
this is fucking Sonic Adventure, and they needed
Yeah.
the roll. I'm like, come on, man.
It's... Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the roll. Like, some of it's just natural. Like, the ground pound, the
There's a lot I'm still learning on how to utilize everything.
backflip jump,
Yeah.
the
The
long
triple
jump. Yeah, the triple jump. Like, they're all intuitive because you know them and you've done them forever. But then the roll, like, I was in the air and Cappy was like, here's how you roll. And, like, most of it I'm, like, skipping kind of through. And then he said that and I was just like, what? And then as soon as I hit the ground, I was
Yeah.
like, there's, little points of interest you're supposed to run to and whatever. I was like, no. I need a hill. Give me a fucking hill.
There's like the only one like odd thing I have to get used to control wise is that I turned off the motion controls, but you still have to do motion controls to do some things.
Yeah, I leave the motion controls on for that very reason.
Maybe like it's off, but yet it still recognizes.
Yeah,
it.
no,
So
there's-
it's like to climb up a pole faster, you have to shake the
Yeah,
controller
yeah,
up and
yeah.
down, or like if you want to do like the spin hat attack, you still
Yeah.
have to just flip it sideways for a second.
Well, actually, for that you can.
I realized after
720.
yeah, I realized that after
figure that
twirling I can
out.
do it too. So I was like, all right,
Yeah, some of them, like the major ones, you can do without motion, but I think
because I'm using a pro controller.
yeah, I'm using a pro controller also,
Yeah.
so it's kind of weird. If I want to do the spin thing, it's like I can do the 720 on a control stick and press X, but it's just much easier if I just go.
Yeah, and then like when
Yeah.
it gets to, like the 2D parts, like the 8-bit parts.
Oh, yeah.
Love like if
Dude.
they just had a whole game looking like that, I'd be okay.
Where it was like,
It's like
Old,
like updated
but-
graphics, but
yeah, new
Yeah.
sprites.
And it's so weird, and those things mess up with the plane, like using the right stick and bending it, and the whole perspective change. It's
It's
just
fucked
There's
up.
actually
like
an indie game. I'm not sure if it's out yet or not, but like where you're like it's like that similar. It's like you're playing on a cube and you have to like map around the cube as like an
Oh
8-bit
yeah,
sprite.
I've
So, like,
seen that.
yeah.
Well, it kind of reminded me of Two Worlds, or between.
Yeah,
two
like
worlds.
between two- yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yes,
just,
that's
you know,
it.
I, I'm not just talking about that same. I'm just saying to just twist the camera around and just like the attention to detail to make sure the whole perspective shifts and like, it's
Well, I did one earlier, and in the 3D plane, there's these. I was in the cooking world. That like you've seen.
It's in the trailer.
I can't wait to get that.
Overcooked.
Yeah, Overcooked. Yeah, just playing Overcooked.
I think it's called lunch in Morgan Kingdom.
Yeah, something like that. And there's big peppers, green, red, and yellow peppers, getting like spit out of a thing, and they're like rolling at you. Mm-hmm. And the main thing, you gotta like run around and dodge those. But then you find an 8-bit pipe and you drop into it, and you're doing a 2D part, and like they're rolling over top of the plane that you're on, but you're not affected by them because they're rolling. You're like within the world. It's fucked up, but it just it's so cool. It's really cool.
In the second world, there was like one of those, or the third world, the sand one, the third, where you're going through it, and there's bullet bills while you're in the 2D thing, and you're dodging them, and then you go out of it, and then the bullet bills come out with you.
Yes.
And then you need to like capture those bullet bills to like break open the thing, and it was like that. The way it plays in between transitioning between 2D and 3D is awesome.
Well, it did the thing that Nier did so well with 8-bit music.
By the way,
oh man,
I remember you were telling me to play that game, and I will play it.
That's the fucking jam. But in Nier, especially later on in the game, when you are jumping, when you're playing as 9S in the second playthrough, whenever you go into the hacking mini games, the music of the world just immediately shifts into this 8-bit style, right? Yeah. And same thing in Mario. Like this was just
smooth
like
transition,
and like all the instrument sounds, they just the everything shifts like perfectly, like on the beat. And
the game has got me throwing my hat on everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know. There's so much detail,
and the way that they design the different like hat mechanics when you capture something, like Ben was just playing it, and he found the cool little totem dudes, or the Millie eyes, or whatever they're called.
Man.
And they like, because I was like going around doing that section without it, and I noticed that there's like these invisible platforms, and I was like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? And then I threw my hat on one of them, and he put on his shades, and it shows all the invisible stuff. And I was like, well, this is awesome.
That's the fucking dude.
In the second world, I love that this was stuff that we've seen already, and they got it right out of the way.
That was early on,
with the the dinosaur.
Got the dinosaur, and then you did the.
I was like, this is everything in the trailer, even the music in the background. It's all from that first E3 trailer. Whatever. And I was like,
so there has to be a lot of worlds because there's supposed to be like 999 stars.
Yeah.
So do you start in New Donk City?
No. I haven't even been there yet in my
That's the vibe I got from it because I played the the Halloween.
Me and you visited there very briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. And that's another cool thing it does. That's back from like the Banjo-Tooie kind of thing. Is that the worlds are kind of interconnected. So I was in the second world and I was exploring and I found this little nook and cranny and there was a portrait and I went on it and it was a portrait to New Donk City, and I was like, all right, I'll go in there. And then you go into this isolated platform and you get a little moon, and then you have a little like checkpoint kind of Mario flag, and that's all you can do in there. And what you essentially did is you link the worlds by going into there and finding a special entrance into another world, and they're all throughout the different levels. There's portraits in every level that I've found so far. You just got to look for them. They're pretty well hidden.
Indeed, they are.
Yep. An improvement from that. From 64 is that like I like how you can just find these moons anywhere within this same time. You don't have to keep re-entering the world to get different things and keep starting over. It's just you do what you want right here and whatever.
Banjo-Kazooie did that in '98.
I mean, okay, well, I didn't really play those.
No. But I'm saying like it's cool that they did that.
That's a good feature.
Because in 64 and Sunshine, you went into it and the level changed. Granted.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of doing it that thing where you choose the star or shine that you want to get, and then the level's tailored to that thing. But this is more of an open box, sandbox kind of thing, and you just have to go out of your way to find them, which I think is better.
None of them are ever like stupid. Like there's always a reason for getting them. Like there's, it might be something like walk around this corner you didn't think to walk around, or it might be like.
I mean, there was one that was just like literally jump on this platform. There it is. But
some of them is like
that's fine. I was going to kill myself.
Why?
There was things moving, and if I got caught, I was going to fall off the edge.
Oh yeah.
I didn't fall off it. I found a secret room with a moon, and I was like, oh well, there it is.
And a lot of times, like you'll find a secret room, and within the secret room, there's a puzzle you have to do to get to the moon. But along the way, if you take a detour,
there's always a secret within the secret.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned these. Would you call it portrait
The portraits?
or maybe a painting?
A painting, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a game I played before, but I can't put my nose on it. But
That is a really cool thing, and I won't say much more.
Yeah, don't
but
know what I
don't
found.
spoil it. I think I know where you're going with it, but I want to experience it.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm just excited that that's the thing about this game is that this sense of discovery.
I'm gonna say this. The part where you guys just said you went to New Donk and you could only be at a piece of it. I think I found that painting early on, but it was blacked out. I couldn't do anything with it. So I don't know what you did to unlock it that I didn't do at that point. But I found a different one at a different level, and I looked at it and I went, huh. And I went through, and then it did a thing, and then I got there and I saw a thing, and then I couldn't get to the thing, and then I was like, well, I can't do shit. I'll just go back now. But it showed me another.
Okay,
There's so many layers to this game.
I'm excited.
So
And it's only just the beginning.
Because that's when I texted you, and I was like, which world? What are you in right now? And you said where you're at, and I was like, okay.
I think I know where you're going with it, but I don't want to.
I'm not going
everyone
anywhere.
else.
I don't
But
these
even-
paintings are they're just in
They're random. Like,
because
Random spots.
I was talking. I said it while I was playing it. There's no like lobby
there's no hub world. No.
hub world
Yeah.
kind of thing, and that
Right.
threw me
Yeah.
off because I think maybe this is the first one that's kind of like that.
Yeah, it
like
feels
first Mario game in general, like
feels,
3D at least.
Yeah, kind of traditional in the
I don't
Yeah.
think. I
Or
mean,
it's like
if
World
you
One,
if you
World
count
Two. Yeah,
Galaxy as well, I guess
Yeah,
Galaxy
Galaxy
had
had
hub
hub
world.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go to different stations.
That's
to
what
launch
because
off.
when I was playing that world, I was like, okay, when do I get in the world? And I was like, no, you're in
You're
right
in
now.
it, yeah.
It's like, oh,
So, I mean, that's
all
the
right.
kind of thing they went through. The worlds are big enough and they're lively enough. They have their own locals and things like that. Where you kind
No,
of.
I like that. It's
I don't-
cool.
I love a hub world. I'm a traditional kind of guy.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
love
yeah.
a hub world. But this is, I think the worlds are so fleshed out in this game that I'm okay with there not being a hub world.
I'm curious because you said that there's meant to be 999.
Well, I didn't know. I thought there was only like 700 or 800. But I was like, I subscribed to Game Explain or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and they're like 999 secret ending thing, and I didn't watch it or anything like that.
But some things, yeah.
So now that I know that there's 999 somehow, and that
I-
makes me think that there's a lot of fucking worlds in this game because even some worlds have more moons.
Because you're
than other
maxing
ones.
out. Have you 100%ed a world
No,
yet?
I've not 100%. Even the first Cap Kingdom, I went
Yeah.
back and there's only 17 moons.
Do you
in
guys
that.
want to know? Because I'm on Bing right now.
No, don't. No.
Why are you on
Yeah.
Bing? That's the bigger issue.
Yeah, you gotta Google it.
I'm all about the googs.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know
Jeeves.
specifics, but
That's
I
a
will,
nice Windows phone.
Here's what I'll say. Earlier, when I fired up my game, you said that you and I have the same number of moons.
I have like around the same.
And I know where you're at number of worlds wise,
Uh-huh.
and I was about double that.
Oh Jesus, there's that many worlds?
I think, if I'm
Damn,
not
dude.
mistaken.
Because like
That's fucking insane.
when I left that jungle one, the dinosaur one,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I could only get up to like 15
Yeah.
moons
Yeah.
before deciding to leave.
I think
So
I
was like,
had-
how many are there in
I
here?
think I had like 140 something.
Holy shit.
And that's where I'm at right now. And
But I did that because I was kind of just going like world. Like I would do the main objective and then jump to the next thing. And then I will say that right now I'm at a point where it looks like I may be at the final world, but I don't know for sure. I don't know how many there are.
Yeah,
But you're
I
right.
have no
Like
idea.
there's like, well, that's the thing. When you look at the travel guides,
Yeah.
you can see the max number of moons in a stage, and like there's a fucking lot of them. in
like the
some of these
sand one,
worlds.
there's 69 moons that we were checking right before here. And yeah, so like the first world has 17 moons, right?
Yeah.
And the third, the sand one has 69. So it's
Yeah.
it's
They're all
big
it could
thing.
be.
So
So
I don't know.
420's next, right?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Animal Crossing, buy that flame shirt. It's 420 bells. It is.
So,
That's really good.
so this game in particular, I treat it like I saw when it was on Direct,
Yeah.
and then I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not seeing
Yep.
anything else till I play it. It comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one main question I have about it: does it have scripted events like Mario 64? Like the first painting of Mario 64, you go to the top and you start at the beginning and you race the one dude and you race to the top. That's what I mean by like scripted events.
So that's my favorite thing about this game right now. So I saw it at the Switch thing, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
showed
yeah.
off Odyssey for the first time. You saw Mario being a human, and that was weird, and it was super cool, and I was really excited. And then Joe's been making me watch these directs, and then as I'm watching them, there was one where it was just showing the scope of this game, or it might have been an E3. They just showed the scope of this game, and it just looked so huge, so big, and it just seemed like there's too much to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Right at a time when like I was playing Breath of the Wild and I was struggling to find a main objective besides being an asshole and just go to the middle. But you hop in this game and there are cutout objectives
Yep.
and there are boss battles within these hub worlds, and like it's cool. Like you go in and it's like let's do this, and then you do it and it's like, all right, time to do this, and then like you just keep going. And you might reach a point where you finish all the main objectives in the world, but that's when you kind of go out and you explore, and you kind of got a layout for the map to get the rest of the moons you might need to move.
Yeah, because what's good about that is as you're doing those, you might see something on
exactly.
your way. You're like, oh shit, I gotta go back there. Like,
Okay.
the camera purposely wants to show you something.
Okay.
And, it's like,
And there's different, like, there's random, like, characters that, like, you'll bump into. Like, there's the most recent one, just because I was in it, was that cooking world. And there's, like, a guy at the beginning that's, like, he's standing there, and you'll see a little prompt against people that, like, you can talk to. And the one guy, it prompted, I hit A, and he was like, hey, if you find turnips, you should bring them back here and throw them in this pot, especially gold ones. They're the dankest. And I was like, all right, friend. And as I was, like, wandering around, like, you find random turnips, and then part of the puzzle was like, how the fuck do you get it from here all the way back there? Because I had to use a couple of, like, captures to get where I am now. I don't know how the fuck to. But I assume, like, taking that back to him will give me, obviously, a moon or something, right? But there's all sorts of weird shit like that where, like, you run into one random dude and there's something you can do with a lot of random people in there.
Yeah, there's definitely little objectives
Good.
that are outlined.
See, that's what I like the most about.
Because it's not
Mario
like
64,
not
yeah.
everything. It's just like you go around a corner and there's a moon, like the one you found earlier.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one that Joe
that's-
couldn't find.
Yeah,
Right,
the one that was like hidden in plain sight.
But yeah, I saw a clip last night actually, because it was like the title for it was just like, and people said like Mario's for casuals or something like that, and just like
Oh,
proved that title
Christ.
wrong.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was a race.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
where or when it's at, but like what the guy did was like speedrun worthy,
Oh,
and
shit.
he just like exploited the whole fucking race with just some like cool tricks. I'm
What
like,
was the race of?
he was racing against 4 other, like Koopas or whatever.
Oh, I haven't done that.
And like he just found a way around the whole thing with like doing all these insane like Tony Hawk tricks with the hat, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What? Okay."
So not only that, but these mini games that you can do also have leaderboards associated with them.
Oh, yeah.
So like the race thing probably has a leaderboard associated with it, and I think every world has this mini game that you can do, and then you can see how you're doing against other people.
Yeah, I ran into one leaderboard thing, but I was 20,000 feet in the air, so I couldn't really check the internet. And
Yeah.
I forget what game they released on. I think it was Wii U, and they immediately started working on this. It was like back in 2013 or 2014. They started working on this.
Working on Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like they released the game and they were just.
I think I'm not sure if it was like right after Mario Maker or after like a different Mario game, and they were just like, it might have been 3D World.
Okay.
I think it was.
Uh,
And,
Probably
and like
World.
instantly they
Early.
just started working on this.
Yeah, I forget which team did this, but I think it's the same director.
I think this is Galaxy Team, isn't it? Because Galaxy Team made 3D World.
Then this is probably the same team. I'll use the internet.
Google it.
I won't do that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really, really good game. There are a couple things where I was like, I don't know. Like,
I didn't expect Captain Toad. I just want to say that.
yeah, that was a cool.
That was a nice little touch.
I'm ready
was
for
in
Captain
3D
Toad
World,
too.
wasn't he?
Fucking stand up.
He was as a mini game. Then he had
Yeah.
his own game.
Yeah,
Wait,
this
you mean
is-
you didn't expect him in this game?
Yeah.
Where'd you find him?
Oh, you haven't even found Captain Toad yet?
I found him. I just
Okay.
didn't know where you guys are finding him.
He's in every world.
Oh,
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't
No,
know that.
No, like
Got
in
it.
the,
He's been in every world that I've explored so far.
in the jungle place. He's like, you have to like jump off a cliff a little
Yeah,
bit.
he's
and
on
go
the
into the second cliff, and he's like, "Hey, I'm also looking for these moon things." But
which
here.
jungle place? Dinosaur jungle
Yeah, the
place?
dinosaur.
Yeah, the second
Didn't
one.
Is
find
he
him
the
in
one
there.
that you can buy hints from, or is that?
No, that's
That's
not
No. It's like, so you know that archway that where the chomps are. There's
Yeah,
an edge up high to the left, right underneath of the
I'll
I'll
other
have to go back
edge.
to that.
Yep.
I found
You have
him
to jump off the one
in
with that big gray cube
the
that's there.
Lost
Oh,
Island or
where
whatever. I think. Is that the one where you have those little weird caterpillars you can
Yeah,
become that
uh-huh.
stretch? Yeah.
That's
I
the
found
world
there's
I'm
one
at.
in there where I had to like swing around.
The
Oh yeah, I found him there too.
Yeah.
and he's in every world. He's just heading.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
pretty
gotta go
well
back.
in all of them.
That's like that's what's really cool is like we're all playing it, but we've got different stories along
Right.
the way. Like we've
And-
seen different things, and
Right, and like, cause like that dinosaur one, cause it's such still the beginning, you know, like other
Yeah.
than like that little cap world, like the way they designed it to be introductive but not holding your hand.
Yeah.
It's such a smart way to do that, and I feel like every level has something like that, to where it's like they're really not trying to like make any mistakes from the past with any other games that might be like make
Yeah.
it sluggish or something.
yeah,
I like the. I think they're. I don't know the correct word for it, but they're like portioning the game well. Like,
Yeah,
each
yeah, yeah,
world.
yeah.
They feel
Some are
digestible.
definitely bigger than others, but no world is like. It's not like a fucking open world game where you're overwhelmed. It's
Yeah.
not like Breath of the Wild where you're kind of wondering where to go. Like you look at the map for one of these worlds and be like, wait a minute, this is it? Is it gonna like?
right,
Is this
yeah.
part of the world or?
But then like you
it's
find
the
all
full
these
world,
weird
and
like
it's like-
hidden doors and
Yeah,
shit
there's hidden
like
doors
that.
that go to other places, and there's very vertical places, and it's like, oh, I could. Okay, this is
There's
a
a
very
lot,
respectable
yeah.
sized world, and it's very manageable.
Yeah. How you guys playing? You playing handheld, docked, pro controller?
Pro controller, 100%.
Pro controller docked.
Okay.
I started to switch to the Joy-Con grip,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure which one I like yet, because I like the smaller buttons when I'm jumping around and stuff, and just the shoulder buttons, but at the same time I do just like a pro controller in general.
Yeah.
So like I'm like kind of switching between those. I tried handheld a little bit,
Yeah.
and I'd rather do a bigger screen.
Matt?
I have to play this game docked. I don't think it looks. So this is me just that day when it came out. Yeah, you have to remember I was more excited about Wolfenstein just because that's the mood I'm in right now. So I started out playing Wolfenstein. I saw that U-boat scene and all the lighting. I was like, oh god, this looks great. And I launched Odyssey docked, and I was like, Nintendo Switch, man, look at this thing. This thing's super pretty. And then later that day, oh no, it was yesterday. I finally did it handheld, and I like seeing the pixels in Mario's hat, and I'm like,
I noticed that and the shadows, because I was doing it right before we recorded. The shadows, they have like when something is not fully transparent, it has
Yep.
like the lines in it, whatever. I noticed the pixel thing and that, but there's only two things I noticed.
The first thing I noticed, like the first time I opened it, I was in the goddamn terminal in El Paso Airport waiting to board, and I was like, all right, fucking Mario. Like Katie was like, you want to go eat? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna sit right here. She's like, all right, I'm gonna go wander because I can't sit here for 2 hours before our flight. I was like, all right, you do whatever. Yep. I'm sitting there and I opened it up in the fucking menu. I was just like, somebody unchecked the anti-aliasing box on Mario's hat. What the fuck's happening? Like it was very jagged around the edges, and I was like, whew, all right, okay, all right. And then like playing, I didn't notice anything really. Like maybe the occasional hiccup in frame. Like
I didn't get that. I
think I might have had it a couple times, but not anything where I was just like, the fuck's happening here? It was just like a couple like.
Yeah, I also had like an update before starting it, so I don't know if I didn't experience some of that stuff. So I don't know if that.
I don't remember if I did or not.
I downloaded. No, I preloaded it, so I don't know if I got an update or
Yeah,
anything like
as
that.
soon, it was like I'm not sure if it was a patch for the game or for the system, but it felt like a day one patch.
So did anybody get physical?
I did.
I
Oh,
did.
yeah? Okay.
I think that's why though.
But
I was just
I
curious.
can't
Okay.
speak to handheld mode because I've only played it docked, but
Docked's fucking dope. I did it for the first time today.
but I feel like this is a game you want to play docked anyway. I could
Yeah.
see it being very
I-
convenient in handheld mode if you
Yeah.
need to play it that way. And I'm
just
sure it's very serviceable, but
Yeah, I
in
just-
docked it's so
But
pretty.
in
I feel
some
like there's
ways
just
it's
so much
not.
to soak in.
But in some ways, it's not serviceable to be in handheld mode because you're holding the Switch, right, and you're in the handheld, and then you got to do this
Oh,
to
yeah.
throw a hat, like
this-
Yeah, right.
no. And like I'm holding my phone for those that can't see me, obviously, and like I'm tilting the whole phone, and now all of a sudden I can't see what I'm doing anymore for that slight second
Wait, why do you have to throw your Switch for a hat throw?
because the spinning thing. Like I finally found out how to do it without it, but then like there's an upwards throw that I don't know how to do
There's a
without.
I don't think you can
I don't
do.
think you can do
No,
it
you can
without.
do. Shit. You can't do an upwards throw, but you can do a down throw if you ground pound and then throw your hat right after that.
Okay,
But
that's good to know.
I haven't found a reason to use the spinny thing.
It's more of a convenient. You don't need it to do.
Oh,
There's
but-
like a couple puzzles
anything-
I had to use it for, but
But like the
You're right though. Like I was on
Like
the plane.
like all the when you hit something and like all the coins go around. You know how much easier it is for me to just spin it and grab them all instead of me running around in a circle. Let me get them all.
No, I think being on the plane and like sitting there and I was like, oh shit, I gotta.
Well, if you're on an airplane,
exactly.
if you want to play it handheld, I think if you need to play it handheld, you probably don't want to play it handheld. If that makes sense. Like if you're on a plane, you want to get out the tray, you're riding southwest,
Kickstand
whatever,
it, and-
kickstand it, and then play.
So
Which is what I did.
I did kickstand it because I wanted to, live that fucking commercial. The problem is with those fucking tray tables on the seat back, like it's lower than you're sitting. So like the way you gotta look at it, like you're kind of looking at it stupid. So I had to like slouch a little bit in my seat and like then really get into it. And then I was like, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, our plane rides home, the first plane, because we had a layover in Atlanta, the first plane we were, no one sat to my left. Just unbooked seat or someone didn't show up or whatever. So it was just Katie in the window, me in the middle, and it's fine. The second plane, we were in the very back row, and it was only 2 seats, so it was just us 2. So I had no one to fuck with me. I could just like lounge and whatever. That was nice, but now playing it docked, I'm like, ooh.
It's definitely 100% the way to play it.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
There's a lot to take in.
What a game. I'm excited to hear how we all continue to progress with that game too.
Yeah, it's weird. I've never been so hyped for a game, and then like to have its own theme song. I love that so much. I love it more than I should probably, but like the inside of the case is the lyrics to the song.
Oh really?
Yeah, like it's Pauline in there. It's all red and just the lyrics to the entire song on both sides.
Getting to that part in the game too in New Donk City was like, I think was I on the plane when that happened? Yeah, I think it was like one of the last things I did before the plane landed, and I was just like, I knew I had to like get to it, and like hearing it, I was just like.
I need to beat Wolfenstein first. I'm like not in the mood for this game right now.
Yeah, I mean
like,
that's the thing.
I
There's
love
nothing wrong
playing
with
it.
that.
Like it's a great game.
And I would actually encourage you to not play it until you are in the mood for it.
I say don't play it.
Don't force yourself.
I played it. I played it enough to obviously be a part of this conversation. Because I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
But I'm more in the mood for some dumb,
some Nazis, man.
first-person shooter where I'm just running the river red with blood.
Murder simulator.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm hoping
especially now that Shadow of Mordor's almost done. Because once I beat that, then Wolfenstein, and then Odyssey. Because there's really nothing else this year, right?
Mother 3.
If you're how much of a weeb are you? Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is coming out.
That's true.
No, I'm not gonna.
I think I might.
That's not a me.
Oh,
Which one was
I know,
on
I'm
Wii U?
excited as fuck.
I gotta play South Park
Which one was
still,
on
but
Wii
that's
U?
about it.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. Which
So if I were to start playing those, where should I start?
Xenoblade Chronicles
On what?
and
Wii or new 3DS.
or on new 3DS, and then if you have a Wii U, you can buy
backwards compatible.
Well, it's backwards compatible,
No,
but I thought you could go and buy it off of the shop.
Oh, the eShop?
They have the virtual console version.
Yeah, or you could probably just start it. I don't think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a direct continuation of the first one. I think you just hop in.
I'll probably play in like 5 or 6 years anyway. I mean, I just started New Vegas this summer.
Right.
So.
You got a lot of shit games to
Do you
play.
need a Wii U? Dan?
Huh?
Do you need a Wii U? Is that what you're?
I know. I
saying?
have a Wii U.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. I'm sorry.
I bought it. No, Tropical Freeze. It's probably the biggest.
Dude,
like
I hope they bring that to Switch, man, because that is a game that everyone needs to fucking play.
that game. That's probably my favorite game on Wii U. Probably my one of
Really?
yeah, probably
That's
top 10 games the past 15 years.
That's
up
one of
there.
the best
Big time.
platformers I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I remember Kyle and I played through most of that one together. Just
So
like,
much fun. Yeah, awesome co-op.
Did you catch that Samus Easter egg?
And-
Tropical Freeze?
Which one?
In Tropical Freeze, I think it's the second world. I'm not sure, but her ship is caught up in vines.
Oh, really?
Oh, is it
It's like
really?
the smoke coming
Oh,
out.
I
Oh,
didn't notice
fuck.
that.
No, I
gotta
didn't
like
see that.
you gotta dig like we didn't find
Is
it
that like
organically.
completely out of the way?
It's like an alternate
Yeah.
reality. You have to
Okay.
take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
shit.
cool.
Yeah, you really gotta like hunt for it. Here we go.
I need to get a Switch, man. I need to get on everybody's level here.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta give Santa a couple kisses.
I know.
Let him know what's going on.
I know.
I think too, seeing all the like suits and stuff, I was like, what the fuck's the point of these? And like, it really isn't. It's just you're playing dress up.
I really
There's a
hope-
couple where like you need them to get through a certain door.
I hope there's a
but-
I hope there's a scarecrow outfit, because you know how you throw your hat on the scarecrow to do the little tests, the puzzles without
That's
the hat.
cool.
I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also love that they brought those back from Sunshine. And, like,
That's where they were from?
Yeah, because like you had Flood in Sunshine,
Yeah.
and then they had sections where you lost your jetpack, and it was just like a fucking floating platform challenge that you could just have Mario for. and they brought that back for this game where you throw your hat on the scarecrow
And you're
something
just,
opens
yeah.
up and
There was
you-
one of those earlier where I was fucking pissed. I just couldn't. It's this thing where, like, the platform rotates as you're.
uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love those. Dude, I live for those kind of challenges.
They're good, but that one was really.
Yeah.
It just kept flinging me into nothingness.
Uh-huh.
I think all of the, like, homage, that's the big thing, is, like, I got a fucking Mario Maker suit, but I also scanned my Dr. Mario amiibo, and I got a Dr. Mario. Like, there's really,
Did you,
really.
scan the 8-bit one yet?
I did, and it gave me. We just did it earlier.
It's like a classic color.
overalls.
It's like a very like bright orange, reddish kind of.
Is it the red and brown suit?
Yeah.
Not red.
No, it's not red.
Well,
It's blue.
Yeah.
But it's like it looks more orangish. Than
He's
it
got like
does
red overalls and a blue shirt instead of.
Okay, so the first issue of Nintendo Power, where
Maybe
his
that's
colors
what it
aren't
is.
reversed,
That's probably what it is.
because the first issue was Mario 2, and they reversed the colors.
That's
but
probably.
the overalls and the hat are the same color. They're just like a different hue. It's like a.
Oh.
It's like
No, they're backwards. It's red overalls and blue shirt.
Nah.
Here we go.
I'm pretty sure.
Here we
Was
go.
I'm pretty sure.
It's, I don't know. We'll boot it up.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Because
But that, like, all the little, like, audio cues and visual cues, there's some really cool shit, like,
I love how much
subtle, like, music themes that you hear, and you're like, oh, that's the.
Yeah, it was with the Jump Up Superstar song, the
Mhm.
One Up Girl,
Mhm.
the little like bass part in the background. It's the Donkey Kong bass line, like do 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 do, and they threw that in there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Like-
That's cool.
It's a nice little touch.
Hit me up when you get the new donk.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yes, it's fucking new
Oh, yeah.
donk. So
Yeah. It's really good.
Well, the music in this game has been awesome so far.
God.
yeah, I love
Completely awesome.
how well balanced it is for like you can be a more casual or core player and tackle this game and still get to the same point.
Yeah.
Right, you get what you want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Great game. Great game. I think
Solid
we'll have.
6 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At least. At least. I was actually sad that I watched Stranger Things all day yesterday and didn't play.
It's been
Mario.
hard balancing the two.
Oh
man.
yeah,
I had to commit. I left the thing. I gave the Switch a chance to charge, and then we just sat on the couch the whole day and watched from beginning to end. As soon as it was
I
over,
haven't seen an episode yet.
man.
It's
I watched it
pleasantly
like,
surprised. I didn't know how a second season would turn out for the show, but I've
Yeah.
liked
Really?
it a
Yeah,
lot
I
so
got
far.
Star Season
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I gotta-
I've only watched like the first 2 episodes. But
I'll
Yeah.
be watching sooner or later.
It was
Yeah.
good. You guys, want to talk about some news?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We got some stuff this week. So I'm just gonna roll through with kind of the order that Matt was graciously sending some stuff in our Slack chat. I'm just gonna run through kind of the order we had from there, and I threw in a couple other things along the way. So Halo, the Master Chief Collection, might finally work.
It came out what, last week?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
last week.
Did they bring it to PC yet?
I fucking wish, dude.
Yeah,
I'll
That's-
fucking buy it instantly if it
Yes.
came to PC.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
No, like, real talk.
Just
came
so I
out,
can
what,
play Halo 3, huh?
2015 came out? Late 2015?
Is that when it came
I
out?
think. It came out a while ago.
Something like that.
This
It came out like the same year as Halo 5,
2014.
but early in the year. It was
2014?
2014.
Yeah, yeah, because it came out before I had a PS4.
November of 2014.
Yep.
So there, 343 is updating Halo: The Master Chief Collection to resolve some lingering issues with the game's matchmaking system and to improve performance on Xbox One and Xbox One X.
Like,
3 years.
why? No
3
one's going to go
years.
back and play it. It's the game is dead.
Well, they gotta have something at launch for Xbox One X, so maybe a Master Chief collection that works.
It's one way to pivot your marketing.
Master Chief HD Collection remix.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe
4K
they did it.
teabagging.
It might not even be fixing anything. It might be just the smallest of patches, but it's enough news to garner some interest
That's what it
in
is.
Master Chief Collection right before no games come out with the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
We got some quotes here.
From my boy Phil Spencer.
Yeah, what does Phil Spencer have to say about this?
He doesn't say
How
anything.
about
on
Jim
this.
Ryan?
No, fuck Jim Ryan. So yeah, it may sound. This is from franchise development director Frank O'Connor, talking about where the developer made mistakes and details plans to make it right. O'Connor says, it may sound simplistic, but Master Chief Collection was essentially 6 pretty different game engines strapped together and interlinked with highly complex and delicate new systems. Talks about how with the release of Xbox One X, they've the teams have been provided with an opportunity to resolve long-standing issues, and they plan to take advantage of the new hardware and use the opportunity to re-architect and update the game's networking and matchmaking methodology. Improvements will affect all Xbox One platforms with special visual enhancements for Xbox One X.
Okay.
We genuinely didn't know until the day it released how bad the matchmaking in particular was going to get. The way the UI and matchmaking protocols interacted with each other exacerbated many of the smaller items and amplified a couple of them in unpredictable ways. The short version was that for Xbox One, we built some of the underlying systems to work on a brand new platform, which was fundamentally quite different to both the original consoles the games were designed for. And from a personal perspective, the Master Chief Collection launch was one of my lowest ebbs professionally. From every angry mail I received, I took to heart. I felt like I had personally let down our fans. I also understand that silence can be frustrating. You have complaints or questions, and we try to answer them as best we can, but sometimes bad information is worse. I'm going to follow up next year after we have better detail on the fixes of the Xbox One X update to follow through with an even more detailed technical breakdown of what broke, why, and how we fixed it. That's what we owe you. That in a game we can both finally be satisfied with.
So this is a 2018 thing.
No, they're doing.
He said, "I'm gonna come back to you next year."
Maybe they're gonna fix the patch, but like they're gonna actually do like a press release of
Yeah.
what they did a year later.
Jesus.
So I don't know.
So
I thought they already fixed it because I remember the bugs that everybody was talking about.
I think
I
they
think-
never fixed
I think they
matchmaking.
put a-
Matchmaking, rather.
I think they put a Band-Aid on it.
Okay.
I think they made games work, but
Like,
they didn't
there's
fix
a
matchmaking.
nice there's a nice hole in the whole plaster of the wall, but you know if you slap a Band-Aid on it, it works a little bit better, right? It's
That
connected.
sucks, man. I mean,
Did anyone play Master Chief Collection?
I don't have an
Do that?
Xbox One.
I for like a hot second I did.
Did you do matchmaking though? Did you go online or did you just hop the campaign?
I just did the first game on Legendary. I was just one that kept switching between the visuals.
I witnessed the matchmaking. One of my childhood friends, Mike, I went over his house to play for a little bit. It was awful. Like,
Really?
You couldn't like. You hear all this news and you just kind of think, oh, you know, like 2% of people, and there's just a huge public outcry. No, like hardwired, good internet, and we can't find shit. It was bad. And
I
it's
really
because
liked Halo 3's
I think-
matchmaking.
I think we played like 2 games in the span of like 40 to 50 minutes.
How did it
was
work?
bad.
Did you choose what games you wanted in the rotation? And
I think I don't remember
That
how it worked.
That sounds right.
It was something like that, and there was different playlists that may have taken some maps from other games. I don't remember exactly what that looked like. 'Cause
that's
that
like
was,
a very hard thing. Even if everything's working, that's like you're immediately splitting the player base.
yeah.
Everyone's just gonna be playing Halo 2.
So Xbox One X is out in like 2 weeks or a
I
week. I don't
finally
know.
just started seeing commercials for it too.
Yeah, it's weird. But it's got me thinking about Xbox One S because I think Black Friday that thing drops pretty low.
So S is the
It's the slim model.
slim,
of the
okay,
Xbox One.
and then X, okay.
X
Yeah.
is the
But
4K.
they did upgrade it a little bit. It does have 4K
Yeah,
compatibility.
yeah. I'm just saying compared to the X.
It's like
Yeah.
4K upscaling, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I still just call it standard.
But I'm like leaning, and really the Master Chief Collection is the one big draw for me because I have no reason to buy it for multi-platform.
Rare
things.
replay, yo.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
And those were the two things back in like 2013, 14, whatever the fuck it was, that I almost bought the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It was because of those two. It was Master Chief and Rare Replay. It was right after Rare Replay came out. And that dirtbag at Best Buy asked me how much money I had in my wallet.
Oh, I
And
remember that story, yeah.
fucking- But now I'm like really thinking about it, and Master Chief Collection is a big part of that, I think.
I can't find myself a reason because I love to play multiplayer.
I've never
That
played
could
Halo.
that game is probably done. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many issues. I can't see someone sticking around with
I
it.
think
No,
story.
even if they fix everything, you might have people coming back for a week to be like, "Oh, I guess they did fix it. Let me go back to
Yeah.
fucking
Battlefront.
yeah." or
But it's not even,
whatever's out.
it's the fact that I've never played a Halo campaign, and I want
Oh,
to.
man. Yeah, you really should.
You are missing out on the Halo
That's what
game.
I'm saying.
At least from like 1 to Reach.
Yeah. And that's where, like, I've been waiting on them just to put this fucking Master Chief Collection out on PC, because I'll just do it on my goddamn
Yeah, if they
computer.
put that on PC, I
Then
mean,
no
I
one
know
will
they
buy
have
an
that
Xbox.
Xbox Play initiative going
Can you imagine
forward,
the mods for that?
Yeah.
but I don't think they're gonna put things retroactively. Except they did it for Killer Instinct, and that's weird that they did that. And that made me think that they were gonna start doing other things, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen any news about that. But a Master Chief Collection on PC, would maybe buy it on first day.
Yeah.
100%.
I'd buy it easy.
What I liked about that quote most, and it's very subtle, and you have to listen to it, but he said, we were given the ability to go back. Meaning, like, they weren't given the time to fix the issues because Microsoft forced them to
Move on to 6.
Essentially, probably the next Halo installment, whatever that is. I'm assuming 6. But that's just unfortunate that they couldn't fix it. And we all know the reason. Like, they say they didn't know it was broken. They're doing internal testing. They have to know something's not working, especially with problems to that degree.
There was something else in there where they said they weren't doing a lot of testing. I didn't read that quote, and I already closed it. So.
But that just furthers the point that, like, Microsoft, they run into this is that thing where, like, do you delay a game or do you not delay a game?
I think but the ecosystem back when Master Chief Collection came out was so different for them than it is now. They're in a much better place now with, well, maybe they're not. The fucking first party support's kind of light, but back then, like, they were really trying to make a name for Xbox One, and it was like, we need to get things out. Go.
Yeah, and then, but now you just you damage that game by doing it, and it's never going to be the same. And
but there are people like me.
It's unfortunate because if that game worked, I might own an Xbox right now. Maybe.
So what if it works in a month? And Xbox One S price drops.
It's
and they rebrand Master Chief Collection as the new hot thing to buy this Christmas with your Xbox One X, and it has this sudden community again.
I don't want to play with the 5,000 people that are really good at that game because I'm not that good at it. I wanted to play it with the potential hundreds of thousands of people that were probably as good as I was and could work their way up to the potential of how good you can be at that game.
That's fair.
Like, I missed out on it, but I got Destiny now, so
yeah,
it's Bungie.
More on that later. Breath of the Wild's expansion still coming this year, says Oswald. So we heard about a little bit more of the Champions Ballad back at E3 in June, and in an interview with Kotaku, Reggie Fils-Aimé says, we'll shortly be announcing the date for that content, so I would not lock in... Oh, right. Sorry. In the interview, he was asked about... Basically, they said, hey, back in September, you did a Nintendo Direct talking about the holiday lineup, and you said that the Champions are going to be released on November 10th. Are the Amiibo release dates indicative of a release date for the expansion? And he says, we will shortly be announcing the date for that content, so I would not lock and load on November 10th. Whatever that means. But still coming this year, he says.
How long was it after they announced the first phase that it came out?
I think they announced it like a couple weeks before launch, so it would have been February, and then it came out in June, just before E3. Heroes Path and all that shit.
No, I was saying, like, from the time that they announced what Phase 1 was, when did it come after that?
4 months. Because it would have been the end of February.
No, it's June. It came out in March, right? And if the Heroes Pack came out in June, that's 3 months.
But they announced it in February.
Oh, they announced it in February?
Or
What phase? I don't think they announced the season pass, but I don't think they announced what
the
was
details.
Phase 1.
No,
That's
they
what
did.
I'm asking.
Because I remember, like, if you looked at the season pass for the game before it even came out, it was like the Champions DLC Phase 2 coming at the end of the year.
It just said, like, story, or it didn't have a name for it. But
yeah, they didn't have a story or a name for the heroes.
There wasn't details,
or
but they did mention it.
But, like, you didn't know that they were going to flip a switch for the route tracking and a new difficulty, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking. When you found out about that detail and when it came out, because that
you found that out in a Nintendo Direct right before it came out.
Yeah, that's
like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if they do announce something, say like at the beginning of November, it could hypothetically be out before the end of November. That's what I'm trying to get at. Sorry.
I think we'll have a Direct.
No, we have to have a Direct before the end of the year.
Yeah,
That's silly without them.
Because they got to do a
For
final.
what? Xenoblades?
There's going to be a surprise.
Xenoblade.
I promise you, there's going to be a surprise.
Other
and
than Mother
Xenoblade.
3, there's definitely going to be.
I
like,
don't
a
think
big
it's going to be a surprise. I think
There
we
is.
got it. I think Odyssey holds up. Odyssey will take you into the
They'll probably
Motherland.
touch one like
It's not about that.
next year stuff.
It's
Yeah.
definitely, but also think about there's Odyssey is enough to carry you over, but to be fair, Zelda was enough to carry us over. For technically speaking, in a Wii U world, Zelda would have been enough to carry us from Zelda all the way to Odyssey. However, Switch's entire messaging is games. So we got Zelda, then we got Mario Kart, then we got ARMS, then we got Splatoon, then we they didn't stop. And I think that you could stop. You could say, hey, fuck you guys. We gave you everything.
I see you in January.
They're not going to. We're getting a direct in November. I
I
promise.
just don't know what comes.
I don't-
Promise
do
you.
you do a Rocket League date? I don't like.
That'll be part of it. I promise you will have one. But
I
here's
just don't know what the big swing is.
a couple more things out of this interview. Because we talked about 4.0 last week, firmware on Switch. Little hidden, I know, you do roll your eyes, roll your finger, wave your dick. But, little surprise happened. You can use GameCube controllers on Switch now, Matthew.
That makes me so
So,
happy.
I've got that Wii U adapter where I can plug it in, play Smash on my Wii U. Now I can plug that thing into my Switch and play Mario Odyssey if I want to. When asked about it, Reggie says in our latest system software update, it enabled third-party peripherals to work on Nintendo Switch. As a result, the peripheral for Wii U that allows it to attach GameCube controllers also works.
Yeah, because it doesn't say GameCube controller when you hook it in. It's like USB controller.
Yeah.
It's like hooked in or whatever.
That just sounds to me like they definitely plan on bringing Smash to Switch.
And that was what they
Oh, yeah.
pressed him on, and he said, of course there's nothing to announce on this. I think it's fair to say that the peripheral working was as much a surprise to us as it was to consumers.
Okay.
So Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto just recently told Game Informer that when you think about the playstyle of the Switch, it would be great if I could play all classic games on it. So Steven Totillo of Kotaku pressed Reggie and said, what's up with that?
The one with the ability is like, yeah, that would be cool if you could do this.
And Reggie says, we're gratified to have some of the best content ever created be unique to Nintendo platforms. We're also gratified by our community that they want to play this content. What we've said is that there's going to be some classic content that's part of the Nintendo Online proposition. We said we will unveil more about that proposition next year before it launches. And then they said, does something like the NES Classic or Super Nintendo Classic preclude Nintendo from releasing classic games in other ways? And he said it doesn't preclude it. So maybe Virtual Console? Who the fuck knows? Miiverse is on the way out. We know that, sadly. Next week it'll be gone. Which I want to do some content before I want to do something.
Yeah.
Anyway. Miiverse was a great community. It was something we thought would be integral to the Wii U proposition along with Nintendo TV. Unfortunately, the Wii U didn't scale the way we hoped it would, which makes continuing those services financially challenging. In terms of, when asked why not keep it open on 3DS if you're just going to shut down the Wii U, they're all linked. From a service, architecture, and delivery standpoint, it's linked. Once we made the decision for it to be concluded on Wii U, it meant it would be concluded for 3DS as well as viewing the service on your PC. When pressed about video on demand services, Reggie says they're going to come in due time. When pressed if that included Netflix, he said you'd have to ask the folks at Netflix. I have Reed Hastings' number. Steven Totillo asked him to call him up on the spot. He chuckled but did not make the call. Two more things.
Journalism.
Nintendo's My Nintendo Rewards has yet to offer any Switch-specific rewards in terms of game downloads or any other perks. He says that will change. Quote, there are unique elements coming for Nintendo Switch. We'll be announcing those in due time. We do believe having a strong loyalty program for all of our products is important, and certainly our fans appreciate it.
Yeah. There was a lot of things before that were like, hey, we're not going to talk about certain things like Virtual Console until like next year.
Yeah.
Like either January or whatever.
But the weird thing about this is, if I never owned I have a bunch of shit from like my Wii U, from playing the mobile games, as part of my Nintendo. If I'm someone who only came in buying a Switch, right? Yeah. And I buy a Switch game on day one, those coins that I've earned by buying a Switch game on day one have now expired, and I couldn't have done anything
they
with them.
shouldn't expire, I feel like.
They've expired, and
that sucks.
you could never redeem them for anything on the Switch.
I didn't even know that. That sucks.
Yeah. Anything you may have bought in March, you might have used it for the show because now you bought a 3DS.
That's true.
You've bought yourself into the ecosystem a little bit. But the only thing you could have spent them on, realistically, if you were just a Switch owner, is fucking wallpapers for your phone. And finally, Steven says, do you want me to ask you about Mother 3? And Reggie said, no.
Man.
Reggie said, no. Do you want the I-beams coming out? Fuck.
Hey,
He's
that's
savvy
not no.
with it.
That's not no.
Nah,
Okay.
region free means mother 3. It's on the way. Got two little dibbers here. We're gonna just kind of hit on them real quick. Hitman Game of the Year Edition announced. Brings a new campaign coming out November 7th. If you already own Hitman, you get a bump for free. Is that right? Or you have to pay $20.
I think it might be 20.
$20 Game of the Year upgrade that IO Interactive is offering. This seems like it's their. Well, this is their first big thing after their
Departure of
Yeah.
Square Enix.
right. But I mean, dude, for $60 to get everything plus whatever they're doing, fucking do it.
My friend was watching a bit of, not necessarily like a speed run of that game, but just a guy who was just getting all the silent assassin stuff in like each level, and I wasn't trying to watch a lot of those because I know we still have to go to places.
Yeah.
But the ones that we did do, I did watch, and wow, he makes that game look. I feel like the way we're playing it is like so wrong the way he does it.
Oh, of course.
Because he
Yeah.
studied the thing, so it's like everything is such a smooth motion. He takes no time with anything. It's just
It's really good.
good. Like,
Yeah, he
done.
never fires a weapon. That's my downfall.
But that game, $60. Do it. You guys
That's a
played
lot.
Hitman?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I've seen good
seriously?
things about it.
It-
I'm
dude,
looking it up
there was
on
a part-
Oh my god, it's
on
just
Steam.
there was a part in Paris.
we didn't play it until this year.
and like
Uh-huh.
where the lady goes on the balcony.
Uh-huh.
What the hell's happening?
This is a
Oh,
side
sorry,
conversation in the
sorry,
podcast.
sorry.
We're just having side conversations, all right? It's an Easter egg. If you turn up
So
the
I got
volume
excited.
up,
I got excited by this part in the video, and I just wanted to.
it's a
Shout
balance
out to-
Easter egg. So, like, if you turn your balance one way, you'll hear me and Mark, and if you turn it the other
That's
way,
not how it works. That's not how
something
any
like
of
that.
this.
No, I'll just be in a dick. Sorry.
No, you could say it now.
No, there was a.
It just didn't make sense.
I'm sorry, I got too excited. This guy, he put a fucking fire axe on where like the fireworks go off or something like that, and the way he timed everything to kill the woman on the balcony, when the fireworks went off, that fire axe flew in the air and he caught it before it landed and struck her in the head and walked out, and nobody noticed it.
What are we doing
All right.
wrong?
Yeah,
What-
we're fucking.
That was
up.
that was fucking cool.
We're yeah.
What are we doing wrong?
We gotta go back to Paris.
He
That's what we
timed
gotta do.
it just right. It was just all these turn of events.
All
Damn
aboard.
it. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, I'm done.
Nintendo also in the news this week. Thank fucking God. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp coming late November. Been waiting a long goddamn time for this.
Thank you.
What?
Well, I thought it looked pretty good.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Ben.
I'm gonna.
Thank you, Ben.
I don't think Ben likes Animal Crossing. He likes
No. I love Animal Crossing.
Oh.
I love Animal Crossing.
Then what's wrong with this?
Welcome to the dark side, Ben.
I don't know.
Come on over.
I'm
It's
gonna
all
have to. I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna. I didn't say it sucked. It's not even out yet. I didn't even say look. I'm just saying.
for
I'm gonna
America.
wait. I'm gonna. Yeah. I don't live the down under, but
What are you upset about?
Come on over.
I'm not
Ben,
upset. I'm
sorry.
just. I need to play it. Is all I'm saying.
All right.
From what I saw in that video, I wasn't like, dude.
I mean,
I'm ready to go back.
My friend has it,
it's
and I watched. He made an Australian account and
Good for him.
and got the game.
Good
So
for him.
so like I watched him play
Pocket
it a
Cam?
little bit. Yeah.
it's out.
If,
In Australia.
if you make an
No, I
Australian
think they've
account,
released it a little like by accident, and then they took it down. But for a little bit, you could get the APK if you had an Android phone.
Oh,
there
fuck.
was an update for iOS too.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so
Damn.
he got it on that.
So I'm gonna
And,
wait until it comes out, and then I'll.
The way
And
I
I'll
see
say
it,
something.
it feels like a digestible but yet somewhat fleshed out Animal Crossing game. The only thing is that it's so digestible that they had to separate each portion of this game into different areas. If you want to dig, there's an area for digging. If you want to chop down trees, there's an area for chopping down trees.
That's
That's
what
probably
I'm
just
seeing,
that's probably a
etc.
resource thing. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
and that's why instead of a village like a town, you have a little campground. Everything
Yeah.
is just bam, bam, bam,
but
bam,
for
bam.
like this is not going to be my Animal Crossing answer. I'm going to wait for whatever the hell
That's
they do
what
on
I'm saying.
Switch for that.
I
That's what
feel
I'm saying.
like this
But
is more like a side thing
I guess
for something else.
For me to have a game for when I'm like wandering through the mall with Matt,
Yeah.
when I'm fucking pooping.
What I do like about it from what they showed is that they took the convenience of Happy Home Designer and applied it to like a main like
Yeah, I think
Animal Crossing feeling
was that
game.
you said that before?
I think so.
Yeah.
So it's like I like that portion. I think they're going in the right direction. But for a mobile game, I never expected so much anyway. But this feels the most polished Nintendo mobile game so far.
More than Miitomo.
Yeah, and well,
Mitomo's pretty good.
Miitomo
I played
is
Miitomo for
the
like
shit
a
you can
day.
do in Miitomo. Animal Crossing, you probably cannot do.
Well, Mario
but-
Go wasn't bad. Or Mario
Yeah.
Run, sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But like, it just feels more. I mean, it does have the mobile features, but just it feels like an Animal Crossing game.
How do you move
like, true
around?
to
This
it
is
a
the
little bit.
this is definitely the one that's like the most directly translated from what that
like
actual
it's
game
not
is.
like too out of its way. Like
Right.
How do you move around? Do you just tap on the screen?
You can tap or just like kind of like a drag.
Slide,
thing.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
but I've seen
Oh, wait.
tapping.
There's
Oh,
there's a lot in there. I mean, like there's
The only thing I didn't see is that you can't like create like your own clothing designs and stuff. Like
I never
that.
really cared
That's
too much
fine.
about that.
That was one of my favorite things.
Oh, really?
You can like capture
Wow.
Sprite
boats
work,
and
man.
like fish and stuff and everything, right?
yep.
Yeah. And I
Um,
do love that they utilize Tom Nook just being an asshole.
it's pretty good. But that'll be out late November. It looks like New Leaf Light. Microsoft discontinued the Kinect.
No.
Rip, bye.
What?
How am I supposed to find ghosts now? Like,
I know. Yeah, I assume that's who's gonna buy up the rest of their stuff. So
Okay,
Kinect.
no
Was that
Investigator?
Paranormal Activity after that? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the third one, wasn't it?
Jesus Christ.
third or fourth, yeah.
There's only been 21 Kinect specific games. Period.
Wow.
And two of them are
Solid lineup.
sports, aren't?
It-
For what, like 10 years? It came out how long ago?
Actually,
Came
it
out
might be a handful of them.
in
Or the Kinect Sports.
Maybe it was
Hold on.
2009.
Might have been 2009 or 10.
2010.
7 years, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
7 years, yeah.
Well, so, okay, 7 years, 21 titles. That's
3
not
year.
good.
Not a lot.
7 years ago, they forged the hell out of that E3 presentation and make it look like it worked.
Yeah. And then
And
I
all
don't.
21 games came out in 2010 now.
Kinect, yeah.
Ah,
Kinect's just a
2011,
weird.
2012, you gotta give some development
It's just a
time.
weird thing. I don't know. Yeah,
It's just that motion control craze.
that and like the
That's
fact
what
that
it
like
was.
it got built into the Xbox One in such a big way, and it was such a
Yeah.
You
big.
used to
That
be
was
able
the
to
part
upgrade
that
with
was
the purchase,
shitty about
I
right?
think people got the Kinect more
Yeah.
for just the microphone
Yeah.
than the actual camera.
Xbox On.
Yeah.
Remember when Peter Molyneux thought that you just turn on someone's Xbox? By
Yeah.
The way.
Yeah.
Your neighbors.
Yep.
Yeah, like that one guy on the screen named like Xbox. turn
Xbox
or
off!
something like- Yeah. He was like, no.
No, you just turn off someone's
Xbox
setup.
shut down.
The while it might be gone, the technology is going to continue. The software originally created for Kinect has gone on to power Cortana, the Windows Facial ID system. So they have that thing kind of like iPhone 10 has, but in Windows.
Oh, but it actually works?
in,
No, I'm kidding.
in Windows 10, you can do the same. Like you
Oh,
can
okay.
look at your thing and smile, and it'll open.
Uh-huh.
You have to have hardware that supports it, but. And then Microsoft's HoloLens project.
I was about to say, I'm sure the majority of them went to HoloLens because they're,
Yeah.
at least in the VR world, they're trying to ramp that up big time.
Gotta make that Conquer game, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. So sad.
There's a bunch of stuff coming to Destiny. Do you still care?
I didn't play it all this week, but I
Me
think that's a
neither.
good thing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play still, but
Yeah, I'm like, so here we go. Ready? I'm going to run through these bullet points. New systems and rewards to give our most engaged players additional optional pursuits.
that's not me.
Better incentives for players who complete challenging prestige activities. Better rewards and replay value for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors.
Okay.
Private matches for the competitive community. We're targeting early 2018.
Oh.
Crucible tuning like adjusted supremacy scoring and better spawning rules.
Okay.
Better incentives for completing Crucible matches and penalties for quitting competitive games.
Okay.
Continued improvements to Iron Banner and faction rallies, including uniqueness of rewards.
Okay.
Changes to make the mod economy more interesting and impactful. Ongoing improvements to exotics, including adjustments to reduce instances of duplication. New ways to spend surplus currency and materials, looking at you, legendary shards. An emote interface that allows players to equip salty, spicy ramen, 6-shooter, and flip out all at the same time. I guess that last one was a little cheeky, but whatever.
I was like, wait a minute.
It's like maybe I haven't played Destiny 2, but
The last ones are like the emotes, I think, right? The neon
Yeah.
emotes, yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. The game's been fun.
Well, it just came out on PC.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just I want to play it eventually. I just can't bring myself to play it right now. I'm just like not hyped for it.
Too many other games out right now.
It was one of those things that we kind of like, I don't know.
It's a good snack.
It was one of those things where like we just kept mutually getting each other hyped up for it so much that we were like, yeah. And then we got into it. If you can get that going, I think it's good. And the game's fucking
Yeah, we were
great.
always in the same echo chamber, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I mean, I played the beta on PC, and I was like, well, the shooting feels good, but
yeah. That's what I did with the first one. Was like, oh, who cares? This one, kind of committing and just jumping into it. That was the only thing that got me through it. If I had done the betas that came out, I would have been like, okay, I can shoot shit. Who cares?
I think maybe at this point I'll probably just wait for the first expansion to come out, and then just pick it up then.
Yeah, if it's anything like Destiny 1 and the leaked roadmap, you'll see it before the end of the year,
Oh,
around
okay.
Christmas.
Yeah, but I know that a big problem with the game right now is that the end game is kind of lacking.
That's what I hear, but that's for the people.
But we're taking our time, though.
Yeah, we've been like pacing it really well, which I think has helped us. A lot of the people I've heard that have issues with it are the ones that like
Play it every day.
play it every day. Everything. The only thing they're doing is playing. They're treating it like an MMO, and for them, the end game's kind of like, well, what do I do?
Right.
But like, we still have not completed the raid. We didn't even attempted the raid.
I heard the raid's really good, which has me excited.
Yeah, but like we haven't even bothered with it just because time and whatever. Like it's, I don't even know if I forget my power level at this point, but
I think we're close to raid ready. I think we just want to bump it up just a little bit more.
yeah. But it's game's fucking good, real good.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll 100% play it eventually.
Yeah.
And then one last thing. This is probably the perfect time for this. And if I don't mention it now, I'll probably never mention this. There's a little mobile game that is out called Stranger Things. It's really I haven't talked about it on the podcast because I only dabble with it here and there, but it's really good. It's a nice tapping like action adventure, totally free.
Yeah, my friends actually showed me this game, and it
Like
looks really good.
it's just really charming and treats the property really well, and it's definitely worth at least the download to at least
Going to the App Store now.
try the first level. But with the release of season 2 or the second saga, if you would, of the show, they released some more updates to the game where there's more places to go in the actual town and a new kind of like level set and expansion to it, all for free.
Is there like Bluetooth controller support for this? Because
I don't know.
really don't like tapping because I don't see my character when I'm tapping on shit, and like the aiming is a little.
I'm
off
on the
for
store.
me.
So
right
you're
now.
not you. I don't want to get into it too much because we're already so long anyway. But you tap on it works. Just
I mean,
I'll let you try it. It works.
Like I got to a good I probably put like an hour into it or something where like I finally like I don't know like I got Lewis and
oh, so you have
I've done like the bear puzzles and stuff, but like every time I'm just tapping somewhere, it's either like it's not where I want it to go or I can't see where I am because of my fat finger, and it's just like I'd rather just do a controller at this point. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't know that game's programmed. To
Maybe
move,
they'll
though.
port it to Switch.
Does this have anything to do with season 2?
They say that if you beat it, there's a little trailer or clip because this was before season 2 came
Yeah,
out.
this came
Like,
out before
that's
season
the not good
2, but
incentive, 'cause
you
still
would
wanna
have
find
wanted
it.
to.
I was afraid I was going to play it and then it was just going to spoil shit.
No,
for
yeah, this
season
came out before season 2 came out, but you wanted to have watched at least season 1 before.
Oh,
you
yeah,
played
I've
it.
already seen season 1.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a retelling / in between.
It's like it's kind of like an in between kind of.
Yeah.
Do you like the graphics? I'm playing it right now.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
The music's great.
Yeah.
too.
I'm just seeing how it runs and shit. Yeah, it's awesome.
I got
normal
one.
and classic mode.
I got one final thing. This is not necessarily news, but maybe one day it will be news.
Or nudes.
Maybe.
Ramen.
So, NeoGAF changed a little bit, and it seems like a lot of the community left NeoGAF to found and create a new website called Reset Era. There's a whole lot to that.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about is more a weird part of it. There were a lot of people who were leaving that community in interesting ways, colorful ways, and someone by the name of Electric Blanket Fire left the community behind by posting this. Thread title: I've left clues to new game announcements for years. Post: I'd say things like, I bet we get blank in threads just prior to announcements. Since I probably won't be around much longer, might as well give whatever knowledge / hints I have left. And this
Really
is
hope
what-
that's not a suicide note. But go on.
I think it was just like, I'm leaving NeoGAF.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding.
So here's what we got. A sequel to a 3DS game is coming to Switch. Remember what was said about new character inclusion for Smash.
I think that's such a vague way to Sarah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what that means.
So does that mean, said character is going to get a sequel and appear in Smash?
Well, the game already exists on 3DS.
Yeah.
So
And a sequel to it.
it probably is a Kid Icarus thing. He said Smash. He didn't specify which Smash it was, and
Yeah.
True.
it
And-
was new to Brawl at least.
And what I remember is something about new character inclusion that Sakurai said at one point was that we don't put characters in the game unless they have a
Following sorts.
a prominent future. In terms,
Okay.
like they weren't gonna make any. They weren't gonna put a character in the game who does not have a game coming out or whose franchise is basically dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Lucas was in.
Exactly. So with that in mind, like I don't know what 3DS game. I mean, yeah, Kid Icarus stands out.
Maybe another Donkey Kong character?
Maybe Luigi's Mansion.
Could
That'd
be.
be sick.
Yeah.
I don't
I'd love
know.
a Switch to Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
But a new character inclusion for Smash, Luigi, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Netflix, but not Hulu, are coming Q1. Announcement will be tied with a Netflix-produced show. Splatoon cartoon. I don't know.
I don't think the show
I want
will be
something
Nintendo.
weird though.
You think the show will be Nintendo themed?
I don't know.
Do you think it's a season 2 announcement in Castlevania?
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
That might be it. Themes will arrive with a December 25th update, free if you own the game or amiibo. That part I really, really like.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's such a specific thing to say, too.
Right. I've been wanting themes on there for a while.
Yeah.
Like black and white are just kind of boring.
I mean, it's good that they gave you a little option to
Yeah.
begin with, so it spawns an idea that there could potentially be more.
But I do like the idea of being able to just scan an amiibo and see what unlocks. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go through that whole goddamn shelf one day.
I hope there's a Shovel Knight one.
I'm gonna sweat.
Happy for just owning the game.
Metroid Prime 4 will have a subtitle that people know. Q4 at the earliest. First footage in January direct.
I'd
So-
actually be surprised if it came out next year.
Yeah, me too. I'd be really surprised. But Metroid Prime 4 subtitle that people know. The only thing I can think of was Dread
Yeah.
because of that canceled Lost game.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Little Mac was almost in ARMS. There's a reason he's not.
New Punch Out.
You think it's a new Punch Out?
But why would they exclude Little Mac from ARMS for
I
that
know.
reason? It's
Yeah.
like free promotion.
Because they're going to bring an ARMS character in the Punch-Out.
They could still do both.
Or,
though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Or they time it better because everything's free in that game. They time it better with the release of Punch Out.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I'd be
A new
okay
Punch Out
with-
would be fucking awsome. on
Yeah,
Switch.
dude.
Holy crap.
Did you play the Wii
Oh,
one?
yeah, man.
Yeah, the Wii one
Yeah.
was sick.
Friggin'
Really good.
Joy-Cons.
And also,
Yeah.
it might bring more
Oh,
attention back to ARMS when they announce Little Mac. Like,
Yeah.
think marketing.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it comes down to.
Finally, a new spin-off is coming exclusively to the eShop using assets from a game already released.
I have no fucking idea what that means. That could be
Yeah.
anything.
And now this was, to be fair, prior to Odyssey's release, so it wouldn't be anything tied into Odyssey, but if we're thinking Nintendo first-party stuff, like maybe a Splatoon thing, maybe an ARMS thing, maybe I have no idea.
If it's
Breath of the Wild,
Kirby comes to mind. Because there's so many mini games lately with Kirby.
but a game already released. That's the key.
I don't think they would relegate or have any of their main IPs as an exclusive to eShop.
Box Boy.
Say Box Boy.
Yeah.
Talking about reused assets. Let's.
Wait a minute. Is Box Boy the 3DS game that's coming to Switch?
Ooh, shit. That might be sweat. I'd be okay with that. I don't know, man. You know what I want from Switch? Accurate time tracking.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I look right now at how long I played Mario. You know what it says? First played 2 days ago.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time for it to update.
Yeah, it's always 10 days till you see it.
Yeah.
And then when you do, now it at least says played for 2 hours or more.
Just have a look.
used to cap out at 99,
'Cause they don't-
it doesn't anymore.
They don't have like an analytics section,
Maybe.
do they?
No, like I missed the 3DS and Wii U tracking where it was just like, you played this for 4 minutes. And I'm like, damn, I'm shitty. And this one, you played Animal Crossing New Leaf for 300 hours. And I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I know.
Yeah. One day.
One day indeed. Well, that's going to do it for episode 221. Pretty good one.
Yeah.
Pretty dang good.
If I do say so myself.
That's true. Yeah, thanks for coming, Akko.
It's good to be
Please
back.
come again.
Yeah.
Every opportunity.
Yeah,
Ben?
What's up?
Good to see you.
Hey, man. Good to see you, too. I wasn't here last week, so it's
I
good
know.
to be
Mark,
here
you
this
as
week.
well.
Yeah.
Matt, you as well.
Of course.
That's yeah. If you like this episode, you can find it all of our other episodes on thefreecheese.com or over on the iTunes Store and Google Play Store. Send us some reviews, questions, podcast at thefreecheese.com. Thoughts, things, whatever. Follow us on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at Some Free Cheese. Ben is at Sev Benz. Akko is at AkkoCham. Mark is at Og_mental. Matt is at Matty Ice 131, and I am at The Free Cheese. Go to thefreecheese.com. Our cover story ritual is wrapping up with only days remaining before we roll into November's cover story. And then before you know it, holy shit, it's Game of the Year.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Mother 3.
Hero One.
All the things. All the things.
I'm sorry. That's pretty much all I've been thinking about this whole episode. Just Earthbound.
You never played Mother 3, right?
No, I'm waiting for the
Me
US
neither.
release.
I didn't play it either.
I'm waiting for
Yes,
the US
you're
release.
never
Played
gonna
it
play
alone.
that.
I
That
never
game.
finished it.
Oof. Oof. That's what you do when you're...
Between episodes, we'll actually be gone till November.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. But hey, if you're listening to this day of release, we've got little Matt's PT session hits the internet. You can experience that as we experienced it. And yeah, you got a couple more little Halloween-y things coming up. I don't know if it'll happen before we record next episode, but I definitely do some stuff with Miiverse, so look out for that. And that's it. We'll see you next week with 222. It's a good number.
Ah.
Yeah. See, it's all the same number. It's a portmanteau.
Yeah, that was the word I was thinking of. Okay.
It's not really a portmanteau.
No, but there's a word for it. When it's like if you flip the number around, it's still
Anagram.
the same number.
Anagram?
Pentagram.
Pentagram.
Yeah.
That's it.
Slayer.
Happy
dude.
Halloween, Slayer.